Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mishawaka High School Natatorium as it's a crisp, cool December night in Mishawaka as we get ready for the Mishawaka Cavemen as they take on the Northridge Raiders. And I'm alongside here with Evan Borner of the Mishawaka Network.
Absolutely, it's a really great night to be here. As you said, a little crisp outside, but nice and warm here.
Yes.
In the pool. So we're getting ready to start diving here soon, Bruce.
We are getting ready to start diving in. This is the first ever live broadcasted swim meet in Mishawaka history. So a little history for the Mishawaka Network tonight.
Absolutely, you are experiencing history. It's something that we've been wanting to do for a while. It's something that we were finally able to get together and get done. So I'm really excited to be doing this.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting matchup. Northridge, an NLC opponent, as Mishawaka will be joining the NLC next year, so it'll be a good taste of what kind of swim programs we need to live up to and compete with in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really exciting move Mishawaka is making to the NLC. Is every sport this year is going to be competing their last sport in the NIC. So yeah, it's really great to kind of see the talent that Mishawaka is going to be going against here in all these sports, and especially swimming here tonight.
Yeah, and if people who are just joining in, if you know how swimming works, they traditionally start out with diving first, and the teams are allowed to warm up in the warm-up pool. So if you hear splashing sounds in the background of the diving, that will be the teams warming up. We have Emily Hood for the first dive, a 10C forward tuck, and beautiful on the entry. Lots with the forward tuck is a lot of your body has to be straight, to say the least. Literally, absolutely straight, and the less splash, the better, obviously, in diving.
Absolutely, it was a beautiful form. It was really, really good to see. As it looks like she'll get
scores of 5, 4.5, and 4. Next up is Megan Bird with a 101C forward dive tuck. It's a 1.2 difficulty. Let the legs fall out a little bit there, a little more splash than she was hoping for.
As we wait the scores, it'll be a 4, a 3.5, and a 4.
And people don't realize how crucial diving is. Those can give you the 10 extra points you need to win a meet. So divers, just important as swimmers in this case, especially big meets like these. Next is Janelle Mill. 103B forward half somersault pike. And that was excellent on the entry there.
Really good entry there. Not a lot of splash. Really good there.
I know our Mishawaka dive program has seen a lot of success. That's Brant Sikafus last year, the first ever Mishawaka Cavemen to win NIC and sectionals. Sorry.
No, that's okay. She brings in a 7, and a 6.5 on that dive. So good job there.
Next up, we have Mishawaka's own Lily Weaver for the 101B forward dive pike, 1.3 difficulty. And no matter who's diving, we know that Scott Johnson's going to have those divers ready.
Absolutely. As she brings in a 4, a 5, and a 4.5 there on that dive, Bruce.
That was Mila Opicheeks with the dive, 103B forward, 1.5 somersault pike.
She'll bring in a 6.5, a 7.5, and a 5.5 there.
Next we have Mishawaka's own Abby Staley, 101B forward dive pike, 1.3 difficulty. And Abby is a veteran on the diving squad here.
Absolutely. Been here a long time. I really improved from what I understand through her tenure here.
And extremely close to the board there, but that's the name of the game right there. Close to the board and no splash.
As she will bring in a 6, and a 7 there on the dive.
That has to be, I think, one of the best scores we've seen so far.
Absolutely, I think so.
Next, we go on to Evie Long with a 103B forward 1.5 somersault pike, 1.7 difficulty. She stumbled a little bit on the board there, but really recovered nicely. We'll have to see what the judges think about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job to kind of bring that back there and recover. As she'll bring in a 6, a 5.5, and a 6.
Next up is Mishawaka's own Mia Woods. 101B forward dive pike, 1.3 difficulty. And if I'm not mistaken, Mia's newer to the team.
Yeah, I do believe so. I don't believe she's been on the dive team for a long time here. Pretty good dive there.
Feet fell a little forward, but
She will bring in
for being new,
yeah, that's
exceptionally well.
It's very true. She will bring in a 5, a 5.5, and a 5.5 there.
And our dive program really just taking off, honestly.
Absolutely. You know, the addition of these coaches really working with these kids here, we've seen tremendous progress really made with this team here.
And that was Caitlin Siemens with a 103B forward 1.5 somersault pike.
And she will bring in a 7, a 7, and a 7.5.
Here we have Dakota Stone 103B forward 1.5 somersault pike, 1.7 difficulty. And Dakota, you know, he really had to be, you know, somewhat under the shadow of Brant last year, but, you know, he's as much credit to the success of the dive team as anybody on that team. He's gotten us a lot of points. As a former Cayman swimmer myself, you know, he's carried a lot of meets.
Yeah, absolutely does a good job as he will get 3 5.5s there.
Lucas Libby, 103B forward 1.5 somersault pike, 1.7. Also for Mishawaka. Excellent roll in the air right there. Really got to tuck that body in.
Absolutely. As he will bring in a 5, a 5.5, and a 5.5.
And we are back to the top of the order with Emily Head. A 401C inward tuck, 1.4 difficulty. And this one always scares me. So close to the board, but little to no splash, and that's going to receive a good score.
Yeah, you know, Bruce, as somebody who really doesn't, not super familiar with the sport of swimming and diving, those are really kind of scary when they get that close to the board. As she will get a 5.5, a 5.5, and a 6 there. But yeah, I mean, really, I commend them for how close they get to the board, and, you know, it's pretty incredible.
Mishawaka's Megan Bird, 102C forward somersault tuck, 1.4 difficulty. As it's all about the focus.
As she will get a 3.5, a 3, and a 2.5 there.
And a lot of it's just momentum. I mean, if you get one step wrong, it can go a lot wrong for you in the dive there. So it's frustrating, you know, watching it sometimes. As you know, that just one simple mistake can really just kind of throw off the entire dive.
Absolutely.
Wow, that was excellent spin. Giselle Miller here with the 513 2D forward 1.5 somersault twist free, 2.2 difficulty, and that's going to get a great score as she's one of the lead divers here.
As they will get a 7.5, and a 7 there on that dive. Really incredible job there.
What an excellent dive there.
As I think that was one of the higher scores we've seen here today, too.
I think it was, and we're next up Mishawaka's Lily Weaver, 301B reverse dive pike 1.7. Next is Mila Opachi. I hope I'm not butchering that. I think I might be butchering that. I'm very sorry if I'm butchering that.
It's a little hard to read. Yeah, real quick, Lily Weaver bringing in the 3.5, the 4, and the 4 on that last dive here.
And she's going to do a 5.22 3D back somersault 1.5 twist free, 2.3 difficulty. And that's even more difficult than the previous dive we saw that got 7s.
Absolutely.
As they will tally the scores. Our official tonight is Bob Schreiner, one of the legendary Mishawaka officials.
As that last one, we're bringing a 5.5, a 5.5, and a 4.5. Yeah, Bob Schreiner, really one of the legends here at Mishawaka. Served as the athletic director for some of the time. Now doing a lot of officiating for Mishawaka.
And he is in the Hall of Fame. He was on one of the first Mishawaka swim teams, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Abby Staley here with the 401B inward dive pike, 1.5 difficulty. A little late to get the feet sprung out there, but still managed to gain some in the end there. Limited to no splash.
And she's going to get a 4, a 4.5, and a 4. We want to give a quick shout out to our cameraman Parker up there, doing as we again are embarking on this historic live stream here of the first Mishawaka swim and dive meet here.
Evie Long with the 203C backward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.0 difficulty. Wow, excellent.
That was
there.
Pretty incredible.
Excellent there.
I also want to give a shout out to Isaac Hayes over here on the switcher.
When you can get somersaults in the air, it's gonna look pretty impressive in high school diving.
Absolutely.
And we have a.
She'll bring in a 7.5, a 6.5, and an 8 there. Sorry, Bruce, go ahead.
But you know what? It's coming to normality. You know, our high school divers, I think, are taking a huge leaps in terms of just performance and athleticism here at Mishawaka.
Absolutely. Just so much work being done here, I know, in the off season as well as during the season to just continue to improve, and it's really admirable.
Mia Woods, the 401B inward dive pike, 1.5 difficulty.
As that will bring in a 6, a 5, and a 5.5 there on the dive.
And Caitlin Simons is up with the 513 2D forward 1.5 somersault twist free. And as you can kind of tell, the longer the names, the more interesting the dive's going to get.
Absolutely. I've sort of figured that out here so far.
But within its own respect, they're all equally as hard, and I definitely would not want to be up there on the board trying.
You know, Bruce, I certainly could not go up there. And while that was incredible, I certainly could not go up there and do any of that. So it really is incredible watching these divers out here.
Excellent entry in the water there. Nearly flawless, vertical.
She will bring in 3 straight 7.5s there on the dive.
I think if we had it all way, we'd give everybody 10s. It just looks amazing, everybody, what they're doing.
Absolutely. It really is incredible to just watch them out here.
Dakota Stone with the 303C reverse 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.1 difficulty.
Dakota Stone, actually a member of the Mishawaka Network here, is in the class, does a lot of work for us. So always good to see him out here, just perfecting the craft.
Just an excellent kid. And there, just a little late to get the feet straight, and so he's going to enter the water with his feet horizontal there.
As that will bring in a 6, a 5, and a 5.5 there on the dive.
Lucas Libby with the 104C forward double somersault tuck, 2.2 difficulty. And this should be a good one, as they all are.
Absolutely. As that will bring in a 5.5, a 5.5, and a 6 here up on the board.
And we are to round 3 now of the diving with Emily Hood. I believe it's Hood now, spelled up there. May have been pronouncing it wrong the first 2 times.
The potential's there.
The potential is there with the diving sheets we have, but we will make do. With the 103C forward 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6 difficulty. And to go out to mention, these first couple divers are actually JV diving right now, so they will not count towards the score of the dual meet, but still excellent experience for these kids to perform varsity this season.
Absolutely awesome to see them out here just getting better and working to again kind of perfect the craft here.
And I love the team camaraderie in Mishawaka, cheering for their divers loud and proud.
Absolutely. I honestly can't see it right now, but a fair number of people out here to support tonight. As we bring in a 5.5, a 5, and a 5.5 on that dive.
A 401C inward dive tuck, 1.4 difficulty. From Megan Bird, JV, Mishawaka. Got the infamous T shape as she prepares, and has a good entry. See what the judges think. And for those of you who don't know, the judges are composed of the Northridge dive coach, the Mishawaka dive coach, and of course the IHAA official, Robert Schreiner, tonight.
As I'll bring in a 4.5, a 3.5, and a 3 there on the scoreboard.
Next up is Giselle Miller with the 203B back, 1.5 somersault pike there, 2.3 difficulty. Also JV. I don't even think I would make the team, honestly.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think they would let me get on the board.
Yeah,
I think they would say get right off.
You're a former swimmer here, so you can kind of understand, what we're kind of gonna see here tonight, and really what it takes, the physicality to be able to do this.
Yep.
As they will bring in a 7.5, a 7, and a 7.5 on the board there.
Yeah, Scott Johnson actually joked with me in my senior year. He said for my senior night meet, he would enter me as a diver because you can dive and swim in the meet. And I said, okay. I had him up to it all season. And then I got up on the board that week to practice, and I said, yeah, I'm going to leave it to the professionals in this sense, the divers on the team.
Absolutely.
Lily Weaver there with the 401B inward dive pike, 1.5 difficulty. And we're on to the varsity divers now, so these will count for points.
As we await the tallies here, bringing a 5, a 4.5, and a 5.5 on the dive there.
And swimming and diving is such an such an individual sport, yet so team-oriented that it's really unique in how it's presented, as you're competing for yourself against other divers or swimmers in the conference, in the state. But at the end of the day, all your times matter for your team in terms of points.
Absolutely, similar to kind of how wrestling works, individual, but also for the team as well.
Mila with the 203C back, 1.5 somersault twist tuck, 2.0 difficulty. It's a great dive there.
Really good dive.
Especially because you think about it, they're doing this all backwards and relatively upside down in midair.
As that will bring in a 6.5, a 6.5, and a 6 there on the board.
Next up is Mishawaka's own Abby Staley with the 201B back dive pike 1.6 difficulty. She's a senior this year. Maybe she was a veteran. Couldn't remember if it was a junior or senior, but a senior this year, so it's really all about just enjoying it at this point.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, that's what we're here to do, is just, these students to have fun.
Next up is Evie Long, 303C reverse 1.5 somersault tuck 2.1 difficulty.
That last dive bringing in a 5, a 5.5, and a 5 there. And quite an incredible dive there. Good entry. As that will bring in a 5.5, a 6.5, and a 5 there on the scoreboard.
Next up we have Mia Woods with the 202A back somersault straight 1.7. So this one is all about how vertical can you get when you enter the water. Of course, majority of them are.
Right.
This one especially. Excellent dive there.
Yeah, very vertical there. As I'll bring in a 6.5, a 5.5, and a 5.5 there on the board.
Caitlin Simons is up next with the 105B forward 2.5 somersault pike 2.6 difficulty. Absolutely excellent.
Really incredible dive there.
And she really got a good launch off the board as well. She got lots of air, which gives you that ability to somersault correctly.
Absolutely. As that will bring in 3 7s right there, straight across the board, all 7s.
Dakota Stone up with the 203C back 1.5 somersault tuck 2.0 difficulty. Great entry in the water there to really extend his back and get himself vertical before he enters the water.
As he'll bring in a 6, and a 6.5 there.
Lucas Libby now, 202C back somersault tuck 1.5. And after this one, we will be starting the 4th round of diving. And we will be starting the 4th round of 6 rounds of diving tonight. Great entry there.
Yeah, good job staying vertical, coming down there. Really good entry into the water. As that will bring in a 5.5, a 5.5, and a 6 there.
And as I mentioned back to the top of the order to start the 4th round, Emily Hood, the JV diver out of Northridge, a 402C inward somersault tuck 1.6 difficulty. Close to the board there, but made it off. Next we have sorry.
No, that's totally all right. Just real quick, bringing in a 5.5, a 5.5, and a 5 there on that dive.
And next up we have Mishawaka's JV diver Megan Bird with a 201A back dive straight, 1.7 difficulty.
As that will bring in a 5.5, a 4, and a 6 there.
Giselle Miller with the 303B reverse 1.5 somersault pike, 2.4 difficulty. Also the JV diver for Northridge. Oh my goodness.
That one made me nervous there for a second.
Nervous. But hey, that's why they do it and I don't do it, because
Absolutely.
it makes me nervous.
As that will bring in a 7.5, a 7, and a 6.5 there.
Next up, we go to the Mishawaka divers, Lily Weaver, 201B, back dive pike, 1.6 difficulty. Excellent curvature there. Really got the legs up in time for that vertical entry.
As they'll bring in a 5, a 5, and a 6 there.
Mila up for the next dive, 303C, reverse 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.1 difficulty. And we are on to the varsity divers for Northridge. Once again close there, but makes it in. Next up, Mishawaka's very own senior Abby Staley for a 301B reverse dive pike, 1.7 difficulty. Close there. Let the feet drop a little on the entry, but still excellent air time.
As they'll bring in a 5, 5.5, and a 5.5 there on that dive.
We're up to Evie Long with the 104C forward 2 somersault tuck, 2.2 difficulty. Knees a little bent on the entry, but still managed to get 2 somersaults.
As that'll bring in a 6, a 6.5, and a 7 there.
Next up, Mishawaka's own Mia Woods, 103C forward 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6 difficulty. Excuse me. As we're waiting for the score.
I'll bring in a 6, a 5.5, and a 6 there on the dive.
Next up, Northridge, Caitlin Simons with the 203B back 1.5 somersault pike, 2.3 difficulty.
Again, they got a little close there to the board.
And that is why she is the captain, folks.
Absolutely. As they'll bring in a 7.5, a 6.5, and a 7.5 there on the dive.
Also, she's only a senior to note.
Oh, wow.
Sorry. Only a sophomore to note.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what grade you're in. You gotta work hard. Dakota Stone there with the 5-2-3-1D back 1.5 somersault half twist, 2.1 difficulty there. And man, that's a tongue twister.
That's a lot.
As we await for these scores. And technical diffies with the scoreboard, but they get it up.
Yeah, it'll be straight 5s down the line.
Next up, Lucas Libby with the 403C inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2 difficulty. And as we're waiting for the board to get corrected, after Lucas, we will be back to the top of the order and start the 5th round of diving.
And Bruce, as we just want to mention again, if anybody's joined us, this is the first live swim that we've ever done here in the history of Mishawaka.
This is.
So really exciting. Obviously, there's some technical aspects to figure out about it, but it's really exciting to be out here and be able to do this.
And whatever that whistle sound you heard in the background, I'm not sure where it came from, but
that was interesting.
Great whistling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'd give it maybe a 7.5.
I'll give it a 7. A 7.
How about Isaac? An 8.
8.
Oof. Wow. Okay.
As they're still working on the issue here.
And we are back in action as Lucas gets ready to perform his dive to complete the 4th round of diving here at Mishawaka.
And good entry there. Looks like the legs might have fallen off a little bit.
And we are back to the top of the order with the 5th round starting with Emily Hood, the 4-1-2-1D forward somersault half twist free, 1.7 difficulty.
As that last one brought in a 6.5, a 6, and a 6 there. As we await the dive here.
And that will start our 5th round of diving here at Mishawaka, as the Northridge JV diver is awaiting her scores.
I'll bring in a 5, 4.5, and a 4.5 there.
Next up, Mishawaka's JV Megan Bird with the 202C back somersault tuck, 1.5 difficulty. She awaits her scores.
It will be 4 straight there, 3 fours there.
Next up, Giselle Miller with the 403B inward 1.5 somersault pike, 2.4 difficulty for Northridge's second JV diver. Close to the board as usual, but that is a normality here at Mishawaka. And I guess schools across the state.
Absolutely.
Maybe just diving in general. Guess I'll go out there and make that stereotypical general statement there.
There you go. As that will bring in a 7, a 7, and an 8 there.
Next up is Lily Weaver for the for the 103B forward 1.5 somersault pike, 1.7 difficulty, as she just performed her dive.
Yeah, that brought in a 5, a 5.5, and a 5 there.
Mila's next up for Northridge with the 104 forward 2 somersault tuck, 2.2 difficulty. Great entry there.
That's a pretty good entry there on the dive. As that will bring in a 6.5, a 7, and a 6.5.
And we're back to Mishawaka's Abby Staley with a 302B reverse somersault pike, difficulty 1.7. Parker Norris is doing an excellent job getting you guys angles for both divers.
Absolutely. Mishawaka Network, these people just always do a really good job out here. That's pretty good entry there.
Little sway, but we'll see what the judges think.
As it'll be a 6, a 6.5, and a 5 there on the dive.
Next up is Northridge Evie Long with the 403C inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2 difficulty.
Seems like they just get
Just when you,
yeah,
I was gonna say,
they get
just
closer
when
and
you
closer
think
to that.
they get closer. Jeez, a Pete. Excellent though.
As that will bring in a 7, a 6.5, and a 7 there on that dive.
Truly, just truly amazing to watch what they can do.
Absolutely.
Mia Woods up with the 4222D back somersault, 1 twist free, 1.9 difficulty.
As it'll be a 5.5, a 4.5, and a 5.
And next up, the sophomore Northridge captain, Caitlin Simons, 303B reverse 1.5 somersault pike, 2.4 difficulty.
And you know she's been really impressive throughout this this meet so far.
It's all about finishing strong now.
Now I got a question, Bruce. You used to swim, used to be a part of this. Have you seen anybody ever hit the board? Does that happen?
I've seen someone clip the board.
Clipped. Okay.
They haven't like fallen on the board. I've seen it clip the board, and I've actually seen a belly flop, believe it or
Ooh.
not,
Ooh.
and it was not pretty.
Yeah, so we'll bring in an 8, a 7.5, and an 8. Yeah, somebody who's not really spent a lot of time, watching or observing the sport, I just was not sure whether that's kind of a thing that happens or not.
Though, and you don't realize how much momentum they're getting until someone does flop in the
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
The sound that it makes, and unfortunately, this participant in the time that I experienced it was actually bleeding as they came out of the water.
Ooh.
They had some marks on there, so
Ooh, yeah.
they are truly getting a lot of speed and a lot of momentum in the air. As that was Dakota Stone with the 201B back dive pike, 1.6 difficulty there.
As that will bring in a 5.5, a 6, and a 5.5 on the dive.
And the last diver in the round is Lucas Libby with the 5.222D back somersault, one twist free, 1.9 difficulty. As Lucas Libby is a freshman here at Mishawaka, a varsity boys diver. Great spin there and an entry. Knees a little bent, but we'll have to see what the judges think.
As that will bring in a 5.5, 6.5, and a 5.5.
And as we get to the last round of diving here at Mishawaka before we start the swimming events, it will be back to the top, the JV diver out of Northridge, Emily Hood, with the 201C back tuck, 1.5 difficulty.
Good entry there on the dive.
And you always want to finish strong on your last dives, even if you started the meet off poorly, that strong finish is everything.
Absolutely. As that will bring in a 6.5, a 5.5, and a 6.5 on the dive.
Next up, Mishawaka's own JV diver, Megan Bird, with the 5.121D forward somersault, 1/2 twist free, 1.7 difficulty as she prepares to make her final dive of the night. Shout out to Cole Carnes, big swimmer here at Mishawaka. Hopefully he has a great night. Now that I kind of gave him the announcer's jink, He will. He's a great kid.
I believe we're experiencing some technical difficulties.
The
again.
board is shut off.
The board is shut off here.
We will go again. But without a doubt, we can still hand score the dives. And not the results she was hoping for, but still excellent effort there off the board. As the board is back up and running. The scoreboard, of course.
As we are awaiting the judges' scores here. And something to talk about real quick here, Bruce, is last night a really incredible moment in Mishawaka sports as the wrestling team came back almost in an unprecedented way to beat Penn 37-35. The video of the final has made national news. It's all over Twitter. Lots of national attention coming from it as Garrett Sandifer was able to get really a kind of a defensive pin. Yeah, four straight pins to come and win against Penn.
And the video on Facebook has over 30,000 views now. So
yeah, a lot of current wrestling icons kind of sharing it out, tweeting it, seeing a lot of attention come from it. So it's really quite an incredible match.
And what a great atmosphere for our kids, And we were talking about how we at the Adams meet, you know, they needed to start off the season with a lot of momentum, and this is a meet that can really propel you into the season.
Absolutely. As I believe we are still here working to get these technical difficulties figured out here.
And Giselle Miller will be next with the 105C forward 2.5 somersault tuck. Northridge's JV diver.
We just want to give a shout out to last year's Teacher of the Year to Matt Rendell, who works these meets, does a great job with the technical aspects of them. As it seems like we have scores here to be a 3, a 3.5, and a 3 on the dive there.
Excellent dive there for the JV diver out of Northridge. Really was able to tuck and hold the legs, which is extremely harder than it looks.
As that brings in a 7.5, a 7.5, and an 8.
Next up, Mishawaka's own Lily Weaver with the 5122D forward somersault 1 twist free 1.9. Next up, we have Mila from Northridge, the 403C inward 1.5 somersault tuck 2.2 difficulty.
As that will bring in a 3.5, a 4, and a 4 there.
Great entry there, able to get vertical in the end.
As it will bring in a 6.5, a 7, and a 7.5 there on the dive.
Next up is Mishawaka's very own senior Abby Staley with a 103B forward 1.5 somersault 1.7 difficulty, as she prepares for her final dive of the night, which will be crucial in terms of the final point standing for the team. And feet got a little under her there, but able to maintain. As the judges will submit their scores. As they are waiting to hear the dive again, as the name of the dive actually corresponds with how many points you can get on a particular dive.
Oh, wow.
So it is crucial to know what dive they're doing and the difficulty.
Oh, wow.
As the scoreboard is saying 104, and the diving sheet says 1.3, I believe.
Yeah, and I still don't believe that we've gotten a score yet from the previous one.
Actually, I have 1.7 here. 103B, got it. They had the 104, but it is the 103B. And they have the difficulty finally correct up on the board, as they will be able to appropriately score that.
As that will be a 6, and a 5.5 there on the dive.
Evie Long, the Northridge diver, is up for the 404C inward 2 somersault tuck 2.8 difficulty to finish up her last dive of the evening. As we're coming up on just 6 p.m., an hour into the meet. And that one close to the board. Has not the results she wanted, but she will get scored.
As that will bring in a 5, a 6.5, and a 5.5.
Next up is Mishawaka's own Mia Woods with the 402C inward somersault tuck, 1.6 difficulty for her final dive of the night. Good entry, knees a little bent, but we'll see what the judges think.
As that will be a 6.5, a 6, and a 5.5.
Next up is Northridge's captain, Caitlin Simons, for the 403 inward 1.5 somersault pike, 2.4 difficulty. Great roll there, able to tuck the feet.
As that will bring in straight 7s there.
And I believe that is a pool record for the Northridge captain, the sophomore, with a with a 293.
Oh, wow.
The pool record is 283 as I'm looking at the board. So I believe that is a new pool record for the girls tonight for Northridge. A broken record on the first live stream of the meet. We'll take it. History made on the Diving and Mishawaka Network side as Dakota Stone performed his last dive, the 403C inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2 difficulty.
And that dive brought in a 5.5, a 5.5, and a 6 there for Dakota Stone.
And he finished strong as that was his most difficult dive. Next up we have Lucas Libby as he finishes his last dive, the freshman from Mishawaka, 5.22 5D back somersault, 2.5 twist for you, 2.7, as he performs his hardest dive. And after this, they will have a short break, and then they will commence into the swimming events. Excellent spin there. As they finish up the diving rounds.
Yeah, brings in a 5.5, a 6.5, and a 5.5 to bring the diving section to a conclusion here. We will be right back here as we are going to get things situated for the swimming portion of the meet here. So we'll be right back. This is Mishawaka Network.
And we will also have diving results when we come back.
Absolutely.
It's time for Beyond the Uniform, where we shine light on this week's IHSAA Mental Attitude Award winner. This student athlete has done an exceptional job demonstrating excellence, not just in their sport, but also in their school and their community. Now here's Coach Bob Lovell with this week's IHSAA Mental Attitude Award winner.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Bob Lovell. One of the cool things I get a chance to do, talk to Mental Attitude Award winners, and I am thrilled to be talking to Lillian Liner. She is the Mental Attitude Award winner for 4A volleyball on the girls' side. The Mental Attitude Award presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Lillian, congratulations, number one, to you and your team playing for a state championship. Unfortunately, played a very, very good team in Newcastle, and obviously congratulations on this great award.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You guys had a good year. I mean, think about all the things that you were able to accomplish, 29-5. That's a good, solid year for you.
Yeah, it was definitely a different year for us, one that we kind of took into our own hands, wanting more than just like a good record, more than just like winning. We wanted the season to keep going. You know, that was one of our main goals this year, was not just the wins, but to play together and for each other as long as we possibly could.
Oh, and you did it. I mean, there are obviously only two schools who are going to be able to say they've played for a championship, and certainly we want to win championships, but you and your teammates played for one. You play volleyball. You play softball. I'm curious. When did you get growing up? Were you involved in multiple sports as a kid?
I was. My parents introduced me to many multiple sports. I played soccer, volleyball, softball, gymnastics, basketball, at least all you could think about.
Right.
And as I started getting older, we started to have to narrow down and pick my choices and which ones I liked the best.
So you chose to go with volleyball and go with softball. You're playing in the fall, playing in the spring, but over the summer and throughout the year, there have to be some overlaps. How did you handle all that?
Well, my parents and my coaches have always said that high school always takes priority before club. So I'm always at high school practices and tournaments before I go to any of those club sports. So it's really just we have to prioritize one over the other, and then once that one's over, I go straight from, let's say, a game to practice or tournaments to practice, whatever it is.
All right, let's go back to the championship. You guys get out to a great start. This thing goes 5 sets, and you guys are really – you got to be feeling good early on after you win that first set, and things change. You're tied up 2-2 going into that final set, and unfortunately the Trojans were able to pull away. Take me through the flow of this match for the championship.
Well, so the first set, we knew we had to get off to a strong start. My team is usually one that we want to get off to a fast start to really start the game off strong to let them know we're here to compete and play. We're not messing around. So that first set was really everything for us. We wanted to show them what we have, leave it all on the court. The second set, unfortunately, they really pushed back hard. So that kind of told us we need to pick it up a lot more. They're not here to just give up as well. And then that third set was really an important set for us. I thought that was probably the turning point of the game.
Mm-hmm.
We were up that third set, and unfortunately, we lost that set, and that kind of pushed us back down. But we weren't willing to give up, which is something my team has always done. We're never willing to end it, to lose. And unfortunately, that fourth set just didn't go the way we wanted as well.
Well, still a tremendous, tremendous opportunity for you and your teammates. I mentioned you play softball and volleyball, second team all-conference in both sports. Volleyball set a good example award winner. Academically, top 15% of your class of 839 students. You volunteer in Water for Life Project, Adopt a Family for the holidays, along with being active in the Riley Dance Marathon. I volunteered at local Fishers nursing homes with HSE's Key Club. I ask this of all student athletes who I talk to who win these awards, Lillian. How do you balance all the time and all the demands and do so well while you're doing this?
I would say with the support of my friends and my family and everyone surrounding me, my parents are my biggest supporters, and they always push to kind of show who I am. I'm always brought up saying whose you are, which is God and my parents, and so they really helped me to balance, and they've showed me what a good athlete is, but not only what a good athlete is, what a student athlete is, and they've always said that student comes before the athlete, so I'm always focusing on school and athletics, and then along with schooling is that sort of out-of-school volunteer work.
All right. How did it feel? I mean, I know you were really disappointed in losing, but when your name is called, that had to be an incredible thing for you to hear that you're the Mental Attitude Award winner.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was one thing that I was really striving towards. I'm always trying to be that positive influence, that leader that is always on the court, making a difference. And so it's nice to get acknowledged for something that I've been working for so long and so hard.
A great award to a tremendous young lady, Lillian Liner from Hamilton Southeastern, the 4A Girls Volleyball Mental Attitude Award winner. It's presented by the Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Lillian, congratulations. I wish you nothing but the best. Good luck at Northern Kentucky University as you begin your adult career. Thanks so much for taking time.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's time for Beyond the Uniform, where we shine light on this week's IHSAA Mental Attitude Award winner. This student athlete has done an exceptional job demonstrating excellence, not just in their sport, but also in their school and their community. Now here's Coach Bob Lovell with this week's IHSAA Mental Attitude Award winner.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Bob Lovell. Once again, my honor to be talking to Mental Attitude Award winners from the fall sports. Girls cross country just wrapped up last weekend. Michaela Kokenauer joins me, the Mental Attitude Award winner for girls cross country from South Knox High School. Michaela, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on this great honor.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So tell me, when you first got bitten by the cross country bug and knew this is what you wanted to do?
I'm going to be honest, Bob. I didn't even know what cross country was when I first moved to South Knox. I moved here in 3rd grade, and my dad said, "Do you want to run cross country?" Actually, he said, "Do you want to do cross country?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Sure," not knowing what it was, and I expected to come and maybe throw a ball or do something. You know, that's what sports were to me back then. And so after we were done running and they told us to go home, I was like, but what's next? I was so confused. But it ended up, I found that I had a talent for it, and I really enjoyed racing. And so it was one of those things where I knew that I'd been blessed with this gift, and I wanted to take it as far as I could. And so that's kind of where the passion came from.
One of the cool things, and that's a fantastic story, one of the cool things is each sport kind of has its own culture, so to speak. And the culture of cross country is one where, while it's a team sport, it's also an individual sport, and so it's unique in that regard. And it's also one in which you try to do your best every single solitary day, and there's a measure of how you've done with that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and what's cool about cross country, like you said, is that it's a team and individual at the same time. You are racing for so many different things, and there's so many factors that go into it to bring in that motivation.
All right, you finish the race. Obviously a dream to go to the state finals. It's a fantastic race. You have it. You did well. You don't understand. You're still trying to process all the things that are going on, and then they call your name as the Mental Attitude Award winner. That's a sudden shift. How did you handle that?
Well, honestly, I didn't even know I was nominated for it, and so to hear my name called, I immediately broke down into tears. And I don't know, it was just a huge honor. I'd heard of the award whenever I went to state my freshman year, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get that senior year. And then it slipped my memory. I kind of forgot about it. And then when my mom was like, hey, we need to go to the award ceremony, I was like, well, it's not like I got top 20, And so I went, and I was like kind of confused why I was there, and she was like, well, you might have you have a good chance of maybe getting the Mental Attitude Award. And so when they announced my name, it just, I don't know, I was just very thankful, and I'm still so honored. It's still pretty much setting in.
Michaela Kokenauer from South Knox joining us, the Girls Cross Country Mental Attitude Award winner. Looking through the resume, so to speak, you are involved in so many things. I'm not sure I have enough time. You play basketball, track, and tennis and cross country. You're student council class president, National Honor Society, Fellowship of Christian Athletes president and vice president. You work in your community, Knox County Key Club, First United Methodist Church youth group. I'm not mentioning them all. You volunteer for various youth groups. You've been valedictorian of your class, on and on and on. The easy question to ask is, how do you find time to not only do all this, Michaela, but also do it so well?
Well, everything I do for a reason, and so I'm passionate about everything that I'm involved in. And I think a lot of reasons why I've joined so many, extracurricular activities is because because of my faith. And I don't know, the more things I'm involved in, the more people I get to meet and share my faith with. And I've definitely been blessed with leadership skills and, just the opportunity to do what I do. And so I try to manage my time, try to prioritize to make sure that I'm giving my all to everything that I'm involved in. And I'm thankful that I get to be in so many things, because it is kind of a big load sometimes, but I definitely wouldn't trade any of it.
You want to major in political science. I know you're still in the decision-making process, but Michaela, I have no doubt that you'll do well in whatever field you choose. The 2019 Girls Cross Country Mental Attitude Award winner, Michaela Kokenauer from South Knox High School. Michaela, thanks for taking time. Again, congratulations, and I wish you the best.
Thanks, Bob.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolfert, president of the IHSAA Foundation. Lots of high school athletes here in Indiana have gone on to become collegiate All-Americans. A few of them have even turned pro. But participating in high school sports has helped virtually every high school athlete become a good American. That's because playing high school sports teaches life lessons like the importance of persistence, teamwork, tenacity, preparation, and hard work. The IHSAA Foundation was created to help high school administrators and coaches become more effective role models and teachers, emphasizing values that will help their players become better athletes, better representatives of their community, and better Americans. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
And welcome back as we're here at the Mishawaka Natatorium for the swimming portion of the swim meet of Mishawaka Cavemen versus the Northridge Raiders. I'm Bruce Quick, alongside here Evan Bordner from the Mishawaka Network.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great diving event there. We were unfortunately unable to get the results there for the dives. That's all right, though, as we're going to jump right into the swimming section here. I believe we're waiting for our camera, having some camera difficulties here, waiting for that to
And as we're getting ready, the girls are getting ready for the 200 medley backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. However, it's not done in that order. It starts out with backstroke first, then breaststroke, then butterfly, and we finish on freestyle. In lane 2 from Mishawaka, we have Haley Buckner and Melise Wyatt. Sochi Soto and Sadie Cawthard. Sorry, it's a little small print here. Have to zoom up on the eyes a little bit there. In lane 3 from Northridge, we have Elsa Fretz, Haley Clark, Mercius Ingling, and Aaliyah Wilson. In lane 4 from Mishawaka, we have Lily Wilson, Ellen Pichoki, Mia Guerra, and Claire Weisler. As we're getting that magnified now, so we're able to read it legibly. And here we go. With Northridge in lane 5, we had Sydney Nethercutt, Anna Yeater, Elena Yeater, and Claire Ritchie. And finally in lane 8, Adriana Vestriate, Zara McClure, Jocelyn Bryce, and Katie Baumgartner. As this is a relay. The relay record for the girls Mishawaka team is 157.05, and the pool record is 145.56.
And Bruce,
by St. Joe.
I really just have to commend your eyes for being able to read that from here, because it looks very blurred to me, the records and such.
Well, and that record, the pool record, was actually broken last year at sectionals by the St. Joe team that ended up winning sectionals. So. As we get started here in the pregame festivities, the captain's meeting and the lineup of swimmers. can be really anxious up there waiting to get in, as I have been there and done that.
Absolutely.
As we know, the first couple events will go 200 medley relay, the 200 free, 200 IM, 50 free. They will take a short break, and then we will resume with the second portion of the swimming events. Of course, in each heat, it will go boy, girl, boy, girl. And there will be 2 heats if we have any JV swimmers in there, for those who are listening or watching in at the moment. Should be an exciting meet as Mishawaka looks to stay competitive with the Northridge Raiders. The Northridge Raiders are historically known for having a great team and a great swim program, as they have a club program as NASA, which feeds directly into their Northridge swim team. And we will see that play out tonight, as how impactful a club team can be. And right now the Michiana Stars team is the team of the Mishawaka Cavemen, as they are developing and feeding into that program. So if you're listening and you want to become a Mishawaka swimmer, well, better look at Danny Lucero Dixon, the head coach of the Cavemen and the owner of Mishawaka Michiana Stars, excuse me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important if you want to build a successful program, really in any sport, getting the kids started young, getting them working, getting them, the muscle memory, everything that's important for a sport. Just developing it young so you can kind of feed into that is very important.
And as we get ready to start, the head coach for the Cavemen is Danny Lucero Dixon, head diving coach Scott Johnson, assistant coach Heather Dixon, assistant coach Katie Smith, and manager Emily Shearbaum. The Northridge head coach is Kyle Hembry, and the girls swim coach is also Kyle Hembry, coach of both Northridge Raiders teams, as they enter the water, and we are quiet at the start. As Robert Schreiner on the call tonight for the official. And they are off. The meet is starting for the Mishawaka Cavemen, and it's really crucial to get a great dive into the water and really work your underwaters with your butterfly kicks. The farther underwater you go, the better you're off, because actually scientifically you're faster underwater than you are above water, as you're pulling less of your weight.
Oh, wow.
As you can see, the Northridge swimmers go to about half the pull distance underwater, and it is proven to be super successful in swimming and gives them a large lead, as lane 3 will get in first for Northridge, as they are in first place as they start the breaststroke. In lane 5 is Northridge in second, but they are tied right now with lane 7 of Northridge.
Yeah, it's really amazing to just watch kind of the speed and the way they move through this water. It's really quite incredible.
And lane 4 for Mishawaka is in 4th place. And breaststroke is all about the flexibility of the knees and the legs. That's a lot of push with the knees and the legs, and a lot of dig with your arms in the water. As we go to the butterfly, the scene is one of the most beautiful strokes in swimming, although it takes a lot more than it looks to do. It's a lot of its body roll and getting those hips up in the air. And as you can see, the Northridge swimmers absolutely excellent in their form, as well as Mishawaka swimmers, as lane 3 is still in the lead in the 200-yard medley relay. And it looks to see, as lane 3 gets their freestyler in the water, they will take first place in the 200-yard medley. And we will see what time that is, as the Cavemen are a pool lengths behind the second place team with the Northridge Raiders in lane 5.
As the first place score will be 155.17 there.
And that is 10 seconds shy of a pool record. Not quite enough to break the pool record, as lane 7 will finish in second place with 157.75. Lane 5 claims third place with 159.20, and lane 4 looks to claim fourth place, as they started out the meet with a 2:24.43, and lane 5 will finish, lane 2 is in 5th place, as lane 6 is still swimming the race for the Cavemen. And the board was just reset, so I apologize for not being able to get those times to you. I think we had a malfunction on the board. However, the standings are correct, as Mishawaka takes 4th and 6th place in the 200 medley yard relay. And you get points for finishing 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. So their 4th place points will count for the K-men in terms of total scores. Next up, the boys will get ready for the 200-yard medley relay. Same procedure, same style.
Yeah, really incredible job by Northridge here. Just watching them kind of how they perfected the art, and again, really just shows the importance of kind of starting a feeder program, getting it started. You see how incredible they are out here.
And the heat for the boys 200-yard medley relay in lane 2, Jacob Stanton, Braxton Banks, Jeremiah Bowerman, and Tyler Ackerley. In lane 4 for Mishawaka, Ethan Stan, Eric Arsenal, Alex Kincanen, and Cole Carnes. And in lane 5 for Northridge, Luke Dibley, Joey Garberick, Turner Koch, and Caleb Kaufman. So Northridge will have one team in the 200 medley relay, as that should give Mishawaka the advantage in terms of points, getting either those 2nd and 3rd points or 1st and 2nd points, or 1st and 3rd. As the record for the boys Mishawaka 200-yard medley relay is 144.43. The pool record is 134.22, set by Penn in 2014. And this race will be huge, as for lane 4 has Mishawaka's best relay lineup in, as Ethan Stanton will be swimming backstroke. Eric Arsenal will be doing breaststroke, of which he will more than likely break a record for this year in the 100 breaststroke, as he found extreme success last year placing at sectionals. Alex Kincanen will finish up with the butterfly, and Cole Carnes will bring in the Lincoln Way Locomotive relay team with freestyle. So we will see how Mishawaka's best compares with Northridge's 200 medley relay lineup. As they are getting ready, the board is shut off and the timers are resetting here, because everything is timed through the board and the touchpads, but it's also hand timed by the timers as well. They compare both times to get the final results for the meet, as sometimes the touch boards are literally touchy, as in if you don't touch them hard enough, they will not stop, or if you touch them too lightly, they will stop too early before they're supposed to.
Gotcha.
It's with every touch board. It's inevitable.
Absolutely. As you know, technology sometimes not infallible, sometimes can act up.
Mm-hmm. And the A relay team for Mishawaka is composed of their 4 best, and the B relay team for Mishawaka is composed of relatively experienced and inexperienced swimmers, with Jeremiah Bowerman and Braxton Banks as the returners for the K-men, and then Tyler Ackerley, first-year senior on the swim team, as well as Jacob Stan, brother of Ethan Stan, who does have swimming experience, however, is first year on the team. The Northridge A relay team is composed of 2 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore, as swimming is crucial to the senior leadership, as is any sport. But guys who have experience up there, waiting there a long time, you can get an antsy. You can psych yourself out of the race, and you can make those mental errors. But with
Absolutely.
that experience up there of the captains and the seniors, you are really able to do great things. As we go to a commercial break from the ISAA Foundation.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
And we are back on here after that commercial as they are figuring out the technical difficulties of the pool. The board is back on, ready to go, and we are going to get a racing here on 1202 Lincoln Way East.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great night here. Already has been a great night. Just watching these swimmers really do what they do best, and it's really been incredible to watch.
And this is one of those meets. It's Thursday. It's getting ready for Christmas break. It's really hard to stay mentally focused as they've had a week of finals and still have finals tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So it's what's called a stress week for any athlete in sport right now, as there's so many things going on. But, you know, kudos to them for really keeping their patience here as we begin the 200 medley relay. Sweet quiet at the start. And they're off with the boys' 200-meter relay as we start. Nice underwaters from lane 4 and lane 5 as lane 5 takes an early advantage in the backstroke. Lane 4 shortly behind, and then lane 2 for the Cavemen about a body length behind the first two relays from Mishawaka.
And lane 5, maintaining that lead there as they're going to their first split.
And it's all about the underwaters, as Northridge will go in first, then to follow in lane 4 with Mishawaka. And shortly thereafter, lane 2 of Mishawaka, as Northridge takes a commanding lead with a great pull out from Joey Gaberick. But Eric Arsenal is gaining some ground on Joey. However, Northridge will get in first for lane 5.
As lane 5 will bring in the 27.78 second split there.
As they are nearly a half pole length lead now of Mishawaka, as Alex Kincaid struggled to stay underwater there, but he is recovering there on an excellent wall. And an excellent finish as lane 2 is now onto the butterfly section with Jeremiah Bowerman really stretching out those long arms and reaching for the wall is what they teach in practice. So Northridge will put their freestyle swimmer in, and he is half a length away from finishing this one out first place. Although Cole Carnes is gaining ground, it seems that will not be enough as the Northridge Raiders defeat the Lincoln Way Locomotives in the 200 medley relay.
As they'll bring in a time of 25.14 there.
However, Mishawaka will get the second and third place points, so they will have the lead in the meet. They will lead the total points for Mishawaka and for Northridge, as lane 2 is finishing strong as the rest of the lanes are out of the water, and we are going to get ready for the women's 200 freestyle.
As lane 2 will bring in the 28.45 seconds there.
Final times for first place is 1:44.73, second place 1:49.16, and third place is a 2:12.17. Next is the girls 200 freestyle in lane 2, Katie Baumgarter. In lane 3, Emily Coates. In lane 4, Claire Weisler. In lane 5, Anna Yeater. In lane 6, Claire Reynolds. And lane 7, Logan Peipinger. That goes Mishawaka, Northridge, Mishawaka, Northridge, Mishawaka, Northridge. And this race is critical. It's 8 laps of pure mentality. This one is hard to train for because in a 100 freestyle, you sprint, in a 50 freestyle, and a sprint, but in a 500, you pace yourself. So this is in between that 100 and that 500 mark, just a little bit with the 200 there. So a lot of coaches will actually teach you either to go all out through all 8 laps, or to pace by 50s, or to pace by hundreds in this lap. And in some instances, I know for a fact Danny does it by 50s. So if you can get your fastest passable average on 50s, you can in turn have a great 200 freestyle race. And the pool record for the 200 girls freestyle is 1:51.38, set by St. Joe last year in the sectionals, and the school record for Mishawaka is a 2:00.80.
Absolutely, and it's got to be so difficult to kind of walk that fine line between trying to pace yourself and just trying to go for it. So,
and that can happen. You know, you can go out there and you can go too fast. And take it from experience, if you go out too fast, you're going to lose that last leg of the race there. As lane 5 is in first place for Northridge. And lane 5, Northridge is out to a commanding lead as Anna Yeater, captain for the Northridge team, junior, is nearly a pool length lead.
Lane 6 finds himself in second place currently.
for Mishawaka, which is Claire Reynolds.
Lane 2, 4th place, with lane 4 in 3rd place. Again, lane 5 still finds himself in 1st place there.
And lane 5 will proceed to lap the Mishawaka swimmer in lane 4 as Anna will take a commanding lead for the Northridge Raiders, yet the Mishawaka Cavemen are not far behind from lane 6 and lane 2. As lane 5 is finished in 1st place, Anna Yeater.
Bringing in a time of 2 minutes, 2:02:51 there.
Excellent timing.
As lane 6, 2nd place will bring 2:05:23. Lane 7, 3rd place to 2:23:89. Lane 2 in 4th place be 2:21:30. Lane 3 in 2nd place, 2:14:71.
And the Mishawaka Cavemen will look to finish up the 200 freestyle, as lane 6 will finish in 4th place and grab those points for the Cavemen with a time of 2:51:52. And right now, a score update for the boys. The Mishawaka boys are actually down due to the diving, down by 2 to the Northridge boys, 8-6. But they will look to rebound as they come up with the 200 boys freestyle. For event 4, the boys 200-yard freestyle, lane 2, Ryan Watt, lane 3, Caleb Kaufman, lane 4, Trevor Heinsberger, lane 5, Joey Gaberick, lane 6, Mark Crooks, and lane 7, Jonah Hayden for the captain of Northridge. The school record for the 200 freestyle is set last year by sophomore Jonas Knorr of a 150.06, and the pool record is a 141.45 set by St. Joe in 2011. As Northridge once again comes out to a commanding lead with the underwaters, but Mishawaka is short behind as they are tied for second now, tied for third, as Northridge in lane 3 gets just a bare tip lead.
Yeah, lane 5 had a big lead here so far as they were able to get out of the gate pretty quickly.
And they will now be a body length away from the rest of the pack, as lane 4 and lane 3 are still relatively tied for second place here. But these are crucial points for the Cavemen as they look to come up big down the stretch. In 3rd place is Mishawaka's lane 6. And in 4th place is Northridge in lane 7. And in 5th place is Ryan Watt out of lane 2. As now the swimmer for Northridge will be almost a half a pool length ahead. Still tied for 2 as the intentions rise. Trevor Heinsberger and Caleb Kaufman are dueling it out in the pool. A little duel in the pool, as we like to say.
I like it.
And it looks like Kaufman will get a little bit of an arm's reach coming down as they get ready to make their final flip turn into the last 50. Lane 5 still out to a huge lead as he will go on to take first place here after he flips. And this comes down crucial as these points will mean a lot for the Cavemen as they come down the stretch. As Caleb Kaufman is taking a fingertip lead from Trevor Heinsberger, as underwaters here will be crucial. However, tell you from experience, you're out of breath. Those kicks really do matter as you see Caleb Kaufman kicking a lot of white water as his feet are probably going faster than he would like to go right now. So
absolutely.
He will, and it is close. And lane 3 will take second place. Trevor Heinsberger will go third. They both had as lane 3 finishes with 2:07.76 and Trevor finishes with 2:07.95. So that is literally a fingertips touch of length away from getting those second and third place points as first place just crushes it as he finishes 151.76.
Yeah, that one came very, very close there.
And great heart by those guys, racing at this point in time so early in the meet with lots of swimming left to go.
Absolutely.
As lane 6 will finish 5th and lane 2 will finish 6th, and 7th will be lane 4.
As we are waiting to start here of the next event.
And we are on to the girls 200-yard IM, and that is just like the 200 medley relay, except one person does it. So really grueling in the event that not many people take to heart. However, the people that are in it are dedicated to that event.
Right.
So as we're here, once again, the Northridge swimmer in lane 5 takes out to a lead. However, the Northridge swimmer in lane 3 is close behind with a close tie almost. Lane 4 will be, wow, and a great stretch off the wall there for Lily Wilson in lane 4 as she falls to 4th place as the Northridge swimmer in lane 7 is outreaching her just by a tip. For the lanes, in lane 2 we have Zara McClure. Lane 3, Grace Ritchie. Lane 4, Mishawaka's Lily Wilson. Lane 5, Regan Hartzell. Lane 6, Emily Swyatt. And lane 7, Kenzie Lott. Once again, Mishawaka has the even lanes and Northridge has the odd lanes. Much better way to keep track as you can really only see their swimming bodies in the water, not necessarily their caps at all times.
Absolutely. Lane 3 and lane 5 here real close. Lane 3 just slightly behind there.
And lane 4, after taking that monstrous wall, is getting ready to do a backstroke flip turn. Actually, a crossover turn, which is a little more technical than the backstroke flip turn for those who are joining in. A little harder, but faster. But faster. So, lane 5 and lane 3 are still generally close for first and second, although I believe lane 5 may have an edge, but we'll see on this breaststroke. Lane 4, Lily Wilson, is trying to gain some ground here as they are a 4th pool length away from each other from first, second, and third.
Absolutely. Looks like lane 5, yeah, again, just still maintaining a slight lead over lane 3 there.
And it looks as if lane 5 will take the early advantage in the last 50 of the 200 medley relay 200 medley. Wow, 200 individual medley as they will finish out with freestyle and what looks to be a commanding lead for the girls as the Northridge girls are up on the Mishawaka girls 25-5. The next event will, of course, be the boys 200 IM. And lane 5 finishes just ahead of lane 3.
Yeah, it looks like lane 5 will find themselves at 2:25.72 there. Lane 3 coming at 2:27.44. So, yeah, just a couple seconds behind there as it was very close, Bruce.
And lane 7 will finish third as they started out the race, and how they will finish with a 2:34.94, and lane 4 will finish 4th with a 2:41.26. As the swimmers in lane 2 and lane 6 will finish up their racing.
And you can start to feel that pool heat in here now.
Yep.
It's starting to get a little toasty.
A little toasty in here, and that chlorine smell that everybody knows a swimmer when they walk in the room. They got that pool smell. However, you live and breathe for it. Those moments. An absolute great team camaraderie here, cheering on their teammate as she looks to finish what will be the lane 2 200 individual medley race for Mishawaka.
Yeah, great work here. Tons of heart just being shown.
For the next event, the boys 200 IM. In lane 2, Braxton Banks. Lane 3, Jacob Sullivan. Lane 4, Ethan Stanton. Lane 5, Tristan Bratt. Lane 6, Alex Kincaid. And lane 7, Jack Goodman. Once again, the even lanes are Mishawaka. The odd lanes are Northridge. As lane 2 will finish the race to a monstrous cheer from the crowd and from the Mishawaka and Northridge swimmers, and she finished with a time of 3:58.62. As first place is worth 6 points, second place is worth 4, third place is worth 3 points, fourth place is worth 2 points, and actually this might be new, but fifth place is worth a point now.
Oh, wow.
That was not the same. As they come out to a strong lead, it's relatively tied going into the first turn. However, the first turn will make or break your race.
Absolutely, and again, lane 5 just probably a head's length ahead of lane 4 there.
And Eric Arsenal really popping the hips and really stretching those arms out wide, which is why he's able to keep up with lane 5, who's got the length advantage over Eric Arsenal in lane 4 as they go into the second turn, still tied, and lane 6 not far behind, as it was short walls from all three swimmers as they go into their next turn.
And again, as you mentioned, those turns so crucial, you know what I mean, to your race and being able to just kind of transfer there and keep going.
And as you see, Northridge with a near perfect turn takes still the head length advantage over, Ethan Stanton. Ethan Stanton in lane 4. I was saying Eric Arsenal. It is Ethan Stanton in lane 4. Excuse me for the mistake there.
It looked like he gained some ground there on the Northridge swimmer from lane 5 there, was able to kind of do something there.
Northridge did a crossover turn while lane 4, Ethan Stanton did a traditional back turn, and it shows you how crucial that can be.
Absolutely.
As those turns are the epitome of your races. As the Northridge swimmer looks to take a body's length lead over Ethan Stanton in lane 4. Alex Kincaid in lane 6 not far behind, and in lane 3 the Northridge swimmer is gaining some ground. As the Northridge swimmer out of lane 5, Tristan Bratt, will take nearly a full-length lead away from the Mishawaka Cavemen, and he will secure the first place points for that. As it is still a race, though, for second and third between Mishawaka's own Ethan Stanton and Alex Kincaid. Alex Kincaid has a bigger race as he is facing the Northridge swimmer in lane 3 for those third place points, which is absolutely crucial, third and fourth place points. Absolutely. It will win and lose you a meet. So this is huge as it looks to see we're going to finish down to the wire, and Northridge is going to take those third place points, and that's huge in this event coming down the stretch before we do the 50 freestyle and go on to the break.
Absolutely, and you see lane 5 there bringing in the first place, 2:06.18. Second place coming in lane 4, 2:18.34. Third place coming in lane 3, 2:21.34. And fourth place coming in lane 6, it'll be 2:21.91.
As lane 2 finishes up the race, lane 7 finishes in 5th with 2:32.42, and lane 2 has just now finished in 6th place with a cumulative time of 2:54.96. As we get ready for one of the greatest events, in my opinion, of all time, the 50 freestyle. It is the down and back. It is the fastest of the fast, and the sprinters compete in this race. It is all lactate, and believe it or not, we actually try to do it in no breath.
Oh, wow.
No breath. You try to do it in no breath if you get to that level. And when I was swimming for Mishawaka the senior year, I got down to one breath. I tried no breath, and I thought I may have drowned at the bottom of the pool, but I would not try that again. So you get down to one breath there. You get one breath if you're trying to get really fast. And even with one breath, I still, in some cases, was not the fastest one out there, which can be really defeating. However, it was not, because one breath is fantastic.
Yeah, truly incredible. I mean, you just got the lung capacity you got to have to be able to do this.
And they're in. Lane 1 is Ellen Pichoki. Lane 2, Jocelyn Bryce. Lane 3, Tavia Bratt. Lane 4, Mia Guerra. Lane 5, Elena Yeater. Lane 6, Adriana Vesterate. And lane 7, Aaliyah Wilson, as they are going to be almost tied
Looks like lane 3 has just
the finish. However,
a little bit of a lead there.
But lane 4 coming in. And
wow.
Lane 4 will take second place, though, with a 27.00, and lane 3 does take first with 26.96. The pool record for the girls is 23:64, set last year by Penn. And the Mishawaka record is 25:57, set last year by Mishawaka's own Vivian Miller.
Yeah, it looked like lane 3 there just had about a head in front there. Really close, though, race. I mean, pretty close race throughout between lanes 3, 4, and 5. They were very close.
And no matter what your skill level, the 50 freestyle is such a short race that it's always going to be close, generally to the point.
Absolutely.
You know, it's always just one mistake away from messing up that race. And we talk about how mistakes are so crucial, but we can't iterate enough. The 50 freestyle, you only got 2 laps to figure it out.
Absolutely.
So if you mess up one of those laps, you might as well just finish on the race, because it is a perfectionist type race. As we get ready for the last event before the short break in between events, the 50 freestyle for the boys, which is lane 1, Edwin Serrano. Lane 2, Jacob Stanton. Lane 3, Braden Marshall. Lane 4, Cole Carnes. Lane 5, Luke Dibley. Lane 6, Jeremiah Bowerman. And lane 8, David Kotke. As this one's huge, as lane 5 comes out to a little bit of a length away. However, Cole Carnes will look to recover that on the turn, a little slow on the flip, and so Northridge will ultimately get the advantage in this as long as he finishes strong. However, Cole Carnes is still making up some ground with the long strokes.
It looks like he's getting pretty close there. Not able to quite do it, though, is Cole Carnes there.
And a 23, which the 50 free record for the men's is a pool record of 21:17, and the boys is 23:34 for Mishawaka. So great racing there.
Yeah, looks like, let's see, second place will come in with a 24-20, I believe that 24-23 there, yeah.
As now we will take a short break as we prepare for the second round of diving, as they will do their warm down / warm up laps. And up next for the second half, we have the 100 fly, the 100 free, the most dreaded 500 free, the 200 free relay, the 100 backstroke, and the 100 breaststroke. And then, as our announcer likes to say, the granddaddy of them all, the 400 free relay we will finish up. But right now, we're going to go on break.
It's time for Beyond the Uniform, where we shine light on this week's IHSAA Mental Attitude Award winner. This student athlete has done an exceptional job demonstrating excellence, not just in their sport, but also in their school and their community. Now here's Coach Bob Lovell with this week's IHSAA Mental Attitude Award winner.
In for Bob Lovell, I'm Greg Rakestraw. It is my honor to be joined by the winner of the Mental Attitude Award for the Girls Golf State Finals. Her team took home the championship. She, the Mental Attitude Award winner. It's Morgan DeBeja that joins us now. Morgan, thanks for the time. How you doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How would you describe that Saturday in early October? That was quite the day for you and your teammates.
Wow, yeah. Going back and just reflecting on that is truly amazing. It was the first state championship that Northwest Indiana was able to bring home for a girls golf team, which was really special. And just to be a part of such an amazing team with great girls, especially one with my sister on it, was really a special experience. And we're just so happy to be able to bring back the 9th state championship for Homestead High School.
Going into the season, my guess is this was absolutely the team goal, that you guys thought this team accomplishment was possible.
Yeah, we were the underdogs definitely going into the season. I think we were ranked second or third at the beginning, but we knew that we could prove ourselves to be better. At the fall preview, in the early part of the season, we placed third, which was not a good performance for us. So, again, we knew that we could do better. Then at the Hall of Fame Classic, which is another really big tournament during the year, we placed second, which was moving up. Based on our previous performance. So we knew that we were in the running for that state championship, and we respect Evansville North as a team so much. They're definitely have proven themselves as one of the best teams in the state. So just getting the win over them at the state tournament was such a big deal, and it meant so much to us.
I know, and I saw this in kind of the story the day afterwards, and hearing you reference it this way as well. My guess is over these last couple of weeks, you've gotten a lot of congratulations, not just from, say, friends in high school, but it sounds like from the entire Fort Wayne community.
Yeah, the Fort Wayne community has been really receptive and honestly so congratulatory of us winning. Like I said, it is the 9th only the ninth state championship Homestead has brought home, and the first Midwest girls golf team to Midwest Indiana girls golf team to bring home a state championship. So it was essentially unprecedented, and we're just so happy that we could bring home the state title for not only our school but our community.
All right, so with that, what was it like to be able to share that honor as far as the team state title with having your sister? I mean, are like a pair of trophies like permanently placed on the mantle at this point? How do you handle that in the family?
So my sister and I are really, really close. I'm really lucky to be very close with her. We're teammates, which is a really awesome bond to have. And golf has just always been an essential part of our family and our bond. And I think that that's really important in going about this year. And really, our bond improved this year. And it wasn't because of the golf. It was just really because of the team dynamic. And having her as a teammate has just been amazing. She's obviously a great player, and is probably one of the best players in the state. And I think that she almost had the highest all-state points all year, and she set plenty of records for the school this year. So, yeah, she's an amazing teammate, sister, and one of my best friends.
All right, so if we're having you on this conversation, obviously your athletic ability is known because you competed in the state championship. But we're also talking to this young lady because of what she has done in her classroom as well as in the community. She ranks 15th in her class of 584 at Homestead. Here are some of the things that she has found time to be involved in: National Honor Society, Spanish Club, student government, Young Americans for Freedom, peer tutor, and even a student assistant for the vice principal. How do you balance all of those things in a 24-hour day?
Balancing is hard, but I think it just comes as part of being a student athlete. I really enjoy being part of my community, and especially getting involved on the politics side of things. So just being involved in things that you enjoy makes time management a lot easier, I think. Homework is definitely hard, especially with a heavy class load. But I just think it's really, like I said, part of being a student athlete and part of learning how to deal with life is learning how to manage everything. And being a student athlete really helps with learning that aspect of life.
All right, you talked about the political side of things, and I know political science, law, the political realm, so to speak, is what you're looking to get into. Will golf continue for you in college, or are you putting the clubs up, at least from a school competitive standpoint?
I'm not really sure yet. I'd like to make golf a part of my future, but if that doesn't happen, I won't be totally upset. I'll miss it a lot for sure, and I'd love to still be competitive. But, yeah, I do value my academics really, really high, and I hope to find a school that I can fit in both academically and with my athletic ability.
This is talked about in golf in terms of whether you play junior golf, even if you play golf past your high school or college days, as far as kind of life lessons you take from it and the corollary, so to speak, that happen there. If this is the end of your, I'm using the air quotes here, of your golfing career, what are some of the things that you think you'll benefit from in life because you spent so much time on a golf course as a youngster?
So I talked about earlier time management. Golf is a sport where we don't have really a set practice schedule. It's mainly individual, so we practice on our own. And so just learning about how to manage my practice time and really take advantage of the time I have is really great. Also, golf is a sport of integrity and honesty, and I think it's really important that everyone who plays it learns that. And we actually had a really good example of that at the state tournament. Kaya Parrott signed for the wrong score. She was in the top 5 and ended up having to turn herself in. So I just think that examples like that are definitely some things that we can learn from golf, and just how important honesty is and integrity and having good character, and how that can lead to people respecting you and noticing you.
Morgan, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations on a wonderful day for you and your family on October the 5th. We greatly appreciate it, and best of luck to you, whatever comes next.
Thank you so much for having me.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolfert, president of the IHSAA Foundation. Lots of high school athletes here in Indiana have gone on to become collegiate All-Americans. A few of them have even turned pro. But participating in high school sports has helped virtually every high school athlete become a good American. That's because playing high school sports teaches life lessons like the importance of persistence, teamwork, tenacity, preparation, and hard work. The IHSAA Foundation was created to help high school administrators and coaches become more effective role models and teachers, emphasizing values that will help their players become better athletes, better representatives of their community, and better Americans. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
And we are back here with the second half of the Mishawaka swim meet, and we are getting ready for the 500 freestyle, the 100 fly. But before that, we have some diving results by Evan Borner.
Absolutely. First place was Lucas Libby here. Second place, Dakota Stone, my good friend here, Dakota Stone.
And for the girls varsity, in sixth place, we have Lily Weaver. In fifth place, we have Abby Staley. In fourth place, we have Mia Woods. In third place, we have Mila from Northridge. And second place, we have Evie Long from Northridge. And in first place is the captain from Northridge, Caitlin Simons.
As we will start here.
And Evan will shortly get to the girls' JV results. As they start the 100 fly with the Northridge Raiders getting out to a commanding lead from that underwater wall that was nearly 3/4 the pool length. In lane 1 for Northridge is Logan Peipinger. In lane 2 for Northridge is Sadie Cothard.
Cothard, yeah.
Yes.
Cothard. Woo.
Wow. They're having a field day with the names here. In lane 3 is Grace Ritchie. In lane 4 is Mia Guerra. In lane 5 is Elsa Fretz. In lane 6 is Sochi Soto. And in lane 7 is Regan Hartzell for the 100 fly. That is 4 laps of butterfly.
And just to get quickly to the JV dive results here, number 1 coming in was Giselle Miller there. Number 2 was Emily Hood. And number 3 was Megan Bird. Great performance by all of them there. And
to note, the top finisher for the Northridge girls on the diving was, in fact, a pool record here at Mishawaka. So she will add her name to the Mishawaka Natatorium High School record board here.
Absolutely.
As they finish the 100 fly with Evan has the times.
Absolutely. So going to first place here, lane 5, be 55.91 there. Over to second place, we have lane 4, 104.99. Up to third place would be lane 3 with 106.28. Over to fourth place would be lane 7 with 107.39. And fifth place, lane 1, 128.81 there. Or I'm sorry, 112.81. I totally read that wrong.
And next up, we have the boys' 100-yard butterfly. Lane 2, Braxton Banks. Lane 3, Trey Johnson. Lane 4, Eric Arsenal. Lane 5, Luke Dibley. Lane 6, Alex Kincaid. And lane 7, Reed Hanley. As they get ready for the 100-yard butterfly, that once again, that is 4 laps of pure butterfly swimming. As the girls are down big to the Northridge Raiders, 62-16, and the boys are only 4 points out from tying the Northridge Raiders, as the Northridge boys have a 38 and Mishawaka boys have 34. Once again, lane 5 from Northridge is out to a fingertip lead, but Eric Arsenal catches him on the wall. They go for the under Arsenal, and Eric Arsenal is out to the fingertip lead.
Absolutely good. Great turn there, able to get in front of him.
And we'll see how this finishes. This next wall is going to be huge, as lane 4 did touch the wall first. Eric Arsenal with a split of 25-80. Lane 5 with a tie. They're tied. 25-80 also for lane 5. They are tied going into the final 50 of the 100-yard butterfly as Northridge will outreach Eric Arsenal in the turn. However,
this is going to be a photo finish here.
And here it comes down to the finish as they are toe-to-toe, fingertip to fingertip for the reach. And it looks like lane 5 from Northridge will finish with the victory in the 100-yard butterfly.
And that was about as close gets there, Bruce. I mean, that was incredibly close. Looks like lane 5 will take first place with 54-28 there. Second place, again, coming lane 4 there, 55-32. I'm not sure it's correct.
Close for Eric Arsenal for his record last year. However, a second off as the 100-fly record for the boys pool was set by Eric Arsenal last year with the 54.47, and the pool record is the 50.08 set by Bowen Anderson from Penn in 2014. Once again, a photo finish here for the boys as they are holding on strong to the Northridge Raiders, who are trying to take a commanding lead.
And that was, very, very, very close there. Really, the kind of race you ask for, something close, something exciting there.
Something to get your blood flowing for the last half of the meet, as it can be easy to kind of tame off and, kind of forget about it as we're going into the weekend and the Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and New Year.
Absolutely. Heading into 2020, the last is this the last meet of the decade here?
This might be the last swim meet for them of the decade here.
The last
for
meet of the decade here.
The last meet in 2019 as an NIC school. We could come up with things all day.
We could.
But here we go for the girls 100-yard freestyle. That's 4 laps of freestyle. Lane 2, Zara McClaw. Lane 3, Claire Ritchie. Lane 4, Courtney Brothers. Lane 5, Sydney Nethercutt. Lane 6, Haley Buckner. And lane 7, Kenzie Lott on the girls, 100-yard freestyle as lane 5 will take the commanding lead for Northridge.
Yeah, also Northridge there over in lane 3, trying to keep it there with lane 5. Lane 5 doing a really great job, though, about probably a body's length ahead right now.
And the boys for Mishawaka are not far behind the Northridge boys as they're only down 6 points, 41-47. However, the girls will have a lot of ground to recover as they are down by a country mile, 21-73.
Absolutely. Despite that, though, valiant effort here by the girls so far. Done a great job. Lots of heart shown. Northridge just really coming out swinging, if you will.
And the 100 free pool record is a 51.78 set by Penn last year. And the school record is a 55.31 set by Vivian Miller last year in the 100-yard freestyle. As we are waiting on lane 2 and lane 8 to finish, with 2 Mishawaka swimmers, Jocelyn, Bryce, and Zara.
As it looks like lane 5 will come in first place here, 56.03. Over to lane 3, which came in second place, 59.67 there. Over to third place would be lane 7 with 1:04.84. And up to fourth place would be lane 4, 13.27.
And for the boys 100-yard freestyle, 4 laps of pure sprinting freestyle. We have lane 2, Mishawaka's Ryan Watt. Lane 3, Jacob Sullivan. Lane 4, Cole Carnes. Lane 5, Turner Coach. Lane 6, Mishawaka's own Tyler Ackley. And lane 7, Brandon Marshall, as they line up to race the 100-yard freestyle. And great dives there from Cole Carnes as he comes up a fingertip away from in first place, as Northridge will take the lead coming off the first turn. Once again, Cole Carnes slow to get to the wall, however, recovers underwater and is still a half body length away from first place.
Yeah, lane 5 still doing a good job there, just staying ahead there.
As lane 3 for Northridge is shortly behind Cole Carnes, a half a body length away from him. So we have a Northridge 1, Mishawaka 2, and a Northridge 3 as we're coming into the boys 100 freestyle. And this is going to be crucial as to who gets those second and fourth, fifth points here, as the swimmer for lane 6, Tyler Ackerley and Ryan Watt, are tied at the moment for 6th place.
As lane 5 will, in fact, come in first place with 26.99 there. Second place coming in lane 4, that'd be 28.50. Third place coming in lane 3, 30.47. And fourth place coming in lane 7 there with 1:01.38.
And the pool record for the boys 100 free is 46.87, set by St. Joe in 2011. And the pool record for the school record for the Mishawaka boys is 49.79, set by Nash in 2006 to get that. And first place finishes with 51.89 as the final time. As we get ready now, we get ready for the longest event in swimming and for our long-distance swimmers who love to swim, because we have the girls 500-yard freestyle. That is exactly 20 laps of freestyle swimming. And this race can be broken down in a lot of ways. You can do 5 100s. You can break it down to 50s. You can break it down to obviously 25s. It's 20 laps here. Or you can do 10 50s. And a lot of coaches like to do 10 50s because you can really pace yourself. And if you notice on the sideline, coaches are actually giving signals to the swimmers the whole meet. If their fists are closed, that means to maintain your current rate of speed. And if their fists are open and pushing it that way, that means to go faster. They also have the apparent and obvious flutter kick motion as get your kick in gear. You know, we really got to get going here. But there's going to be a lot of communication here as we have lap counters at the end of the pool, as well as we have the coaches signaling into the swimmers as how to pace themselves for the race. And this one really is a pace. If you come out flying, that last 250 is going to be absolutely dreading. So this race is really all mentality. Can you stay focused? Can you keep the little things right? Breathing on every 3 strokes, taking 4 or 5 kicks off your wall. Can you maintain that constant discipline? And that's what you got to love about the sport, the discipline that it takes.
Absolutely. This is indeed the gauntlet here.
As they start, we have lane 1, Sochi Soto, lane 3, Kenzie Weber, lane 4, Lily Wilson, lane 5, McKenna Mount, lane 6, Annalise Wyatt, and lane 7, Aaliyah Wilson. Once again, the even lanes are Mishawaka and the odd lanes are Northridge as they get off to the first 50 of the 500 and what will be 9 50s after that.
As lane 3 maintaining a good lead here so far.
The pool record for the girls 500 free is 4:56.51, set by St. Joe last year. So a lot of pool records broken last year.
Absolutely.
Over at Mishawaka. They did host sectionals and conference last year, so a lot of opportunities to break those records from other teams. The school record is a 5:23.47 set in 08. As I know Coach Danny is preaching to the kids, in time we're going to destroy that record board and really rename the record board and get some new names up there. As there have been names up there since 1987. As the 50 free record for the boys has stood the test of time there. 22:34. I know personally I was trying to break it, came close, but did not, fortunately came up short in the long run of breaking it. As we will see if our freestyle sprinters Cole Carnes and Eric Arsenal can beat the record, as Eric Arsenal is a senior this year.
Absolutely. And it's always an honor to watch a record get broken, and it was cool to see one get broken here tonight.
It was with the diving record. That's absolutely exceptional. And it's a testament to what we were talking about of how just great diving programs have gotten in the area over the past few years, as they really focus in on what diving can do for the sport of swimming and for high school sports in general.
Absolutely.
As we come out here, lane 3 still in first place, lane 5 in second, and lane 7 in third, lane 4 in fourth place. As lane 2 comes in at 5th place. So this is really a time kind of race. You got to really take it your own way, and there's so many different ways to swim this race. You can focus on your kicking, you can focus on your strokes, you can focus on your breathing. There's just so many tangible factors that come into play here when this race comes, but it's all about the swimmer, and it comes down to great coaching. We know the well-established coaching program here at Mishawaka of getting in good coaches and really developing those players, and it has definitely in turn been a testament as how much the Mishawaka swim program has improved as they have got better and better places in sectionals as the years have gone. I know when I got there, the year before they placed last in sectionals, and then when I had gotten there, we moved up 2 spots to 6th place, and then Last year we finished 4th place in sectionals on the boys' side, so it's just constant momentum of that rising hill, but it takes a while to become an established program like Northridge or Penn or St. Joe. So we're getting there, and it's a lot of good steps, as right now the boys are only down by 12 points, 46-58 to Northridge. However, the girls still are trying to climb out of the hole, a 24-86 deficit.
Now let's think of a hypothetical here. Let's say Bruce Quick is out here coaching this team. What's your formula? You said there's just so many different ways to kind of swim this race. What are you doing? What are you telling your swimmers to do?
Well, I think the real formula is just keeping that sense of your technique, the fundamentals. You know, when you get in other sports, those things get down to the fundamentals. And the 500 freestyle, you can be a great athlete, you can be a good swimmer, but if you don't got your fundamentals straight, that race is going to eat you up. It's going to eat you up. So I'd stick to the fundamentals of just keeping that constant kick. It doesn't have to be fast, it doesn't have to be slow, but just consistency across the board. And so maybe that's a better word to use, consistency. So if you're taking four butterfly kicks off of each wall, you better do it off of each wall, right? Because you take more, you take less, you start playing that mental game of, oh, I'm messing up, or, oh, I'm trying this or that. So the 500 is a race where, fortunately, you can try some things out. You know, maybe the first 250 you do 4 kicks, and the last 250 6 kicks off the wall. But consistency is across the board in these races, where it's really mentality of just, I know each wall I got to flip and do 6 kicks. I know, each lap in between I got to take a set amount of strokes. And they practice that. And so they will do a 25, and you ought to count how many strokes, and you're to have the same amount of strokes each race. And the goal is, if you add strokes and kicks and off the walls, you can compute a time based off of that. And, of course, your 50 pace. So consistency would what I'd be to give you the short answer of a long run sentence there. But
absolutely. And one thing that I think is really kind of, as you mentioned before, really kind of shocked to me is the different signals, as you mentioned, kind of going on here, signals and stuff from the coaches. I had no idea that was a thing. So it's really cool to kind of see that out here, how that goes into this.
And lane 3 will be on the last set of 50s, as they will look to take the win in the girls' 500-yard freestyle. Lane 5 still in second, lane 7 claiming third, lane 4 in fourth, as lane 2 and lane 6 are still yet to touch the wall. This is event 15, heat 1. And I think this is time-consuming, Evan. Just wait until you get to NIC and sectionals, where you have 8 heats of this event.
Oh, wow.
So and for boys and girls, so 16 heats of this event can add up to quite a long time.
That's a long day, I think.
Get a nice nap in there if you want. Yeah. Of course, though, we're not doing that. We're cheering on our teammates.
Absolutely.
But not encouraging napping on swim meets.
It's lane 3 in first place right now. Oh, looks like they actually...
And she's finished.
Finished, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
As well as lane 5 is finished.
Yeah, so lane 3 bringing in the 5:28.88 for first place there. I'm sorry, I believe it's lane 5. Lane 3, I meant lane 5. You're looking at second place was 5:37.44. As we're awaiting some time still.
And we will begin to prepare for the boys' 500-yard freestyle, as the Mishawaka swimmers are getting ready to finish up, with lane 2 on her last lap. And after lane 6 finishes and flips, she will be as well on her last lap of the 500 freestyle. And this is once, no matter where you finish, no matter what you do, you're getting a high five after you do this race.
Absolutely. It looks like lane 7 will come in third place with 6:28.55. As lane 4 in fourth place. I believe they might be still swimming. Oh, well, no. 6:28.85. Lane 2 coming in fifth place, 6:54.52.
Great job here from the Cavemen, finishing strong. The Lady Cavemen. As every race holds its own significance, so they will proceed to finish and go on to the boys' 500. For the boys' 500, we have lane 1 is Edwin Serrano, lane 2 is Jack Goodman, lane 4 is Trevor Heinsberger, lane 5 is Tristan Brad, and lane 6 is Devin Cockey, and lane 7 is Caleb Hoffman. And Trevor Heinsberger is this is his event. This is Trevor's event right here. This is the one he lives for, the 500-yard freestyle. He's improved drastically over the years. If I've gotten the awesome chance of getting to swim with him and getting to watch him as a former caveman swimmer. As we get ready, once again, Mishawaka on even, Northridge in odds.
And really a great night of swimming here so far.
It really is, especially to finish off that break with some positive notes. I'm sure there are PRs here tonight, and they'll have that stat on cavemansports.com where you can catch all the live updates from Mishawaka schools, as doing a little plug there. Right now, though, the most trending thing on cavemansports.com is the boys wrestling finish last night. The close finish for Mishawaka, winning the backyard brawl of wrestling.
Getting some national attention there on social media, as it was really kind of a crazy finish.
Yep.
Everybody's got their opinion about what exactly happened there.
Yep.
Some people think it might have been just by happenstance. Other people think it was a defensive pin. But whatever you think, you can't deny that it was incredible to watch.
It was. And if you're looking for something to do this Friday as the boys' 500 freestyle commences, you can come to the Mishawaka Cavemen doubleheader game as the girls take on Bremen, followed by the boys taking on Bremen. It is the girls' senior night, but that's not all. You see, Mishawaka students get in free with their ID, as well as college students are in free with their ID. And for every student that shows up, there'll be $1 on that tree, and you got a chance to win that Christmas cash.
Hey, as they say, hashtag pack the cave is what we're going for.
Hashtag pack the cave. As they commence, and lane 5 will be in first place for Northridge. Lane 7 for Northridge is second. Lane 4 for Mishawaka in third. Lane 3 for Northridge in fourth. And if you get a chance, you didn't catch it live on the Mishawaka Network, you can catch the Twitter updates, and you can follow us on @Caveman Sports, as well as Facebook @Mishawaka Athletics. As we are attempting to finish up the boys' 500-yard freestyles, lane 7 is in second place, lane 4 in third, and lane 3 in fourth place. The boys' record for the 500-yard freestyle for the school is 5:01:39. Set in 06, and the pool record is 4:30:17, set by Bowen Anderson from Penn in 2014. As Matt Randall passes by the pool director and the meet director for most of the Mishawaka swim meets, he does a fantastic job getting everything in order, and we are very grateful to have him.
Absolutely. He does a great job with not only the swim stuff, but also just coordinating the network and making sure everything is running smoothly there.
As the girls are down 24-86 to Northridge, but still showing heart and effort in the final stages of this meet, as well as the boys are down 46-58, as they can still climb out of the hole they're in the last couple of events. We'll see as their breaststrokers, which Mishawaka is notoriously known for, come up and race. The event after will be the 200 free relay, which is each swimmer swims 50 yards. As this is a yards pool, 25 yards.
I believe you said earlier that we could potentially see a record tonight with that, or am I remembering that correctly, or maybe not?
We might see a record with the 100 breaststroke.
100
breaststroke, yep, with Eric Arsenal. We can check the heat sheets here and make sure that he is swimming that event before we put that in the air. And he will be swimming the breaststroke in lane 4. Right now, the boys 500 freestyle. Lane 5 is in first, while lane 4 is in third. Lane 3 is in fourth. And Trevor is coming out to a nice lead there as He's looking to take third place. It's lane 7 in second place, lane 6 in fifth place, and lane 2 in sixth place.
Lane 5 leading right now.
We are on event 16, heat 1. Next up events are the 200 free relay, the 100 backstroke, the 100 breaststroke, and the 400 free. And this is a crucial race for the Cavemen as they look to dig out of the hole they've built, 46 to 58, as Trevor is going to get those third place points, assuming he finishes on par with his pace. And Cavemen will look to recover in the 200-yard freestyle relay race.
Absolutely. As far as the girls' scores go, probably not going to get it done tonight. But like we mentioned, a valiant effort really by this team. They've put so much heart and effort into this, and it's really good to see them improving. And
their numbers have gotten so much bigger in the years. They went from a small team to an extremely large team, and with that comes some inexperience. But tonight, tonight, where you get to watch experienced swimmers and you get to get invaluable experience swimming against those swimmers and swimming yourself, it's just going to make our program better in the long run. So it's a really long-term game for Mishawaka right now. A couple years, you'll know who we are.
Absolutely.
As they get ready to finish up, as lane 5 will take first place for the Northridge Raiders as he touches the wall. Lane 3 still in fourth. Lane 7 takes second place.
So I believe we're waiting for those final scores. Yes, lane 5 coming in. First place is Bruce Medgen there, 5:07.27. Second place will be lane 7, 5:10.15 there. Third place would be lane 4. That would be 5:18.34. Your fourth place will be lane 3, as we're waiting for the final score to be calculated there, I believe. 5:31.03. I'm not sure if fifth place has been decided yet.
Lane 7 just finished there. So they take second with 5:44.70. Lane 4 will take third place. So Trevor there with an impressive performance there. 5:52.97 is where they will get those third place points. And they will look to get those fifth place points as lane 3 finishes in fourth with 6:06.68. And lane 2 finishes still in fifth. Excuse me. Still racing that race out. As lane 2 and lane 6 for the Cavemen, both Cavemen swimmers look to duel in the pool for those fifth place points. And assuming they complete this race, there will be PRs for both.
And you love to see that. You love to see, just these competitors being able to PR like that and break their own personal records and really improve.
And as we get ready now, we get ready for the girls' 200-yard freestyle relay. The school record for the 200 free relay is 1:46.19, and the pool record was set in 2013. In 2013, 1:37.40 for the pool record. And for the lanes for that, we have lane 2 is Mia Woods, Lily Weaver, Sadie Cawthard. Wow, I'm sorry, Sadie. And
I think she forgives you.
I think so. And lane 4 is Adriana Vestrate. And lane 3 is Kenzie Lott. Lane 2 is Regan Hartzell. Lane 3 is Claire Ritchie. Lane 4 is Jenna Nethercutt. I should not have said lanes. That was the order of lane 3. Lane 4 for Mishawaka is Mia Guerra, Courtney Brothers, Claire Weisler, and Claire Reynolds. Lane 5 for Northridge is Logan Pippinger. Lane spot 2 for Northridge is Haley Clark. 3 is Amercius Ingling, and 4 is Sydney Nethercutt. For lane 7 for Northridge is Grace Ritchie, Elena Yeater, Emily Coates, and Kenzie Weber. And the newly added 200 freestyle relay team, which they just added here by Matt Rendell, is going to be in lane 6, and Katie Baumgartner, Jocelyn Bryce, Zara McClure, and Ellen Peachoki. As we get ready for the girls 200 freestyle relay, as Mishawaka will finish there. And that concludes the 500 freestyle, as that took up nearly 20 minutes of the meet. Very long race.
Absolutely.
You kind of get tired watching it. I can only imagine swimming.
I know.
It. Yeah. Jeez. These guys really are putting everything they got into it. It's really demanding sport. You know, coming to morning practice, afternoon practice, and a lot of times on meet days you still have morning practice. So
Absolutely.
getting in a lot of work, because, you know, swimming takes time.
Absolutely.
Ironically, it all is about time.
Yeah.
So they get ready for the 200 freestyle relay, as Mishawaka looks to gain some points here for the salvage effort and the last 4 events of the meet. The boys team, as we're getting a score update, the girls team is now down 27-99, and the boys team looks to be down 20 points now. So they lost a lot of points there in that 500, with Northridge claiming, I think, 1, 2, and 4. So that's going to lose them a lot of points there. They're down 20 now, 57. So they are going to have to really pull it out in these last few events if they want to come close to beating those Northridge Raiders, which I think we can do. We'll see.
Yeah, that last one hurt a little bit for the boys for sure.
As they get ready, it's 200 relay freestyle. It's 8 laps of pure sprint.
Yeah, lane 4 there out to a bit of a big lead there.
As Mishawaka looks to regain some points lost earlier in the meet. As lane 4 will take the lead. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that is Mishawaka's first lead in an event of the night for the girls.
I think that might be true.
So that's a great way to shift momentum into these last few events. That even no matter the score, you're gonna remember that.
Absolutely. As it looks like lane 5 might be catching up there, gaining some ground on the turnaround, or I'm sorry, the turn there. Looks like might have even pulled ahead there.
And looks like they actually, it looks like lane 7 has taken first place, according to the board. So, a little outside sweep going on here.
Absolutely.
However, lane 5 for Northridge looks like they will claim first place on this next exchange, as they will. Lane 4 for Mishawaka really taken downhill after that third dive in. However, they are still recovering and will look to finish strong here, as the next diver is exchanged into the meet. Lane 5 and lane 7 still for Northridge, a head-to-head battle, as lane 5 looks like it's going to edge out for this final lap here, as they will take first place. Lane 7 takes second place. Lane 5 takes second place. Lane 3 takes first place. So
yeah, 147.06 there for lane 3.
So we have an outside sweep from the inside, as you and I were watching the race that was for second and third, apparently.
Absolutely.
Not for first, as we were caught off guard, because the first place team finishes with 147.06, while the second place team for Northridge finishes with 147.11. So,
Bruce, I think we got the old-fashioned bamboozle there.
I think we did. We got faked, just like the Bart Ball triple option there.
Absolutely. That'll fake you real quick.
Faked you out real quick, so.
Second place coming in there with, or lane 5, second place, 147.11. Third place will be lane 7, 148.00. As fourth place will be lane 4, 207.26.
And now we get ready for the boys 200-yard freestyle. Lane 2 finished in 5th, and lane 6 finished in 6th for the Cavemen. So they have a 4-5-6 finish, as they'll get points for 4th and 5 to salvage some of the points they lost earlier in the meet. The 200-yard freestyle relay for the boys in lane 2 with Mishawaka is Jeremiah Bowerman, Jacob Stanton, Ryan Watt, and Alex Kane in lane 3 for Northridge is Braden Marshall, Reed Hanley, Trey Johnson, and Jacob Sullivan. Lane 4 for Mishawaka, Eric Arsenal, Mark Crooks, Tyler Ackerley, Trevor Heinsberger. Lane 5 for Northridge is Joey Garberick, Caleb Kaufman, Turner Koch, and Tristan Brett. And so it is a even 2 versus 2 matchup in the pool as Northridge will take a lead. It seems like lane 5 has been the lane tonight to take a lead as Northridge has been crucial in that. However, they will come out and start strong here.
Lane 5 really, really good on the turn there. Was able to get a pretty big lead over lane 4.
And I believe that is their freestyle that did go 23, and he goes 22 in that split there with the 50 freestyle earlier tonight, so he is obviously their best sprinter. As they will take a body's length lead over the Cavemen. However, Cavemen still hold second and third right now in the race as Northridge holds first and fourth. So those second and third points actually could recover some of their 20-point deficit they have here late in the meet, down 50-70. As the exchange is made, and Northridge will take first place inevitably as they get ready to turn and exchange with their last swimmer as they have nearly a half a pool lead now. As Ryan Watt for lane 4 will be trying to fend off third and fourth place coming behind him, as it looks like third and fourth place will gain some ground.
Doing a decent job of staying ahead there, though. It looks like actually lane 3 might be gaining on him a little bit.
And the exchange, it will come down to Trevor Heinsberger, and it will come down to Jacob Sullivan here for the final 200 freestyle relay, and we'll see if Mishawaka can get that second place points there. Maybe even sneak in a third place. We'll have to see. As they come down,
and that one's going to be close right there.
It's going to come down, and who's going to get those second place points will determine the end of the meet here.
And that was about as close as close gets.
Close, and Northridge will get those second place points, which, if I'm calculating correctly, unless we have a 4 sweep here, it could give them the lead to take the meet away from the Cavemen.
Might put it out of arm's reach there.
However, a valiant effort by the Cavemen, and what seemed to be a second and third place finish, however, ended in a second and fourth place. Ended in a third and fourth place for the Cavemen. First place having 135.69, second place 148.58, third place 148.65, and fourth place 149.16. As they prepare for the next event, the girls are down 29-111, and the boys are down 52-82 at the moment. So still a 30-point deficit now for the boys as they are trying to come back in what seems like a Northridge win for the night. However, swimming is that sport. You never know.
Yeah, boys have been battling hard to try to kind of climb up that hill all night, but it's indeed been uphill as each event's kind of furthered that score out there a little bit.
As we go to event 19, we get to the girls' 100-yard backstroke. That's 4 laps of backstroke. In lane 2, Claire Weisler. In lane 3, Haley Clark. In lane 4, Courtney Brothers. In lane 5, Emercius Engling. In lane 6, Haley Buckner. And in lane 7, Emily Coates. Once again, the even lanes are Mishawaka. The odd lanes are Northridge. And Northridge takes a nearly 2-body length lead here as we go into the turn. As it'll be Northridge 1, Northridge 2, Northridge 3, and then Mishawaka 4, 5, and 6 here. As lane 2 for Mishawaka is the closest Mishawaka swimmer to third place here. As Northridge will take another commanding lead in lane 5 and in lane 3.
Yeah, you're right. Lane 5 really just been dominant here all night.
Yeah. And as it goes in swimming, the faster swimmers and faster are in the middle of the pool, and the slower times are on the outside of the pool.
Absolutely.
So the 4 and 5 are the fastest lanes in terms of times. However, it doesn't always mean they're going to be the fastest in the pool when it comes time to the meet.
Absolutely.
But tonight, I would say, if you're in lane 4 and 5, you're pretty fast.
You're pretty speedy for sure.
As we get down here, don't forget tomorrow, if you can't make it out to the Bremen game, you can catch it live on the Mishawaka Network or on 96.1 FM with your host, Sean Stiers. Once again, it is all students get in free, as well as college students with their ID. as we
Absolutely.
finish up the 100
No excuse.
backstroke.
No excuse.
Yeah, there is
Show
no
up.
excuse. It's free. It's Merry Christmas from Mishawaka Athletics, as we like to say. As they finish fifth, the lane 5 will finish first place with 105.30. Lane 3 in second place with 108.56. Lane 7 in third with 113.29. Lane 6 in fourth with 131.93. And in lane 2 will finish fifth with 138.50. And the finisher off for the Cavemen, sixth place comes with lane 4, 140.66. As we move on to event 20, the boys 100-yard backstroke. In lane 2, Jeremiah Bowerman. In lane 3, Reed Hanley. In lane 4, Ethan Stanton. In lane 5, Turner Coach. And in lane 6, Mark Crooks. As we are going to have a 3-on-2 Mishawaka to Northridge battle here as they look to recover the points. And I tell you, it'd be really nice to go 1-2-3 right about now.
It would indeed here. That'd be huge for the Cavemen here as we head into event number 20. Again, a 30-point deficit they find themselves at, 52-82 here.
As we see Ethan Stanton slipped on the block there, preventing him from getting a good start, and he's going to have a lot to do to get recovered there from lane 5, who takes a body length away. And that one was all on the start there. He slipped there, and it is going to cost him here.
Yeah.
We'll see if he can recover it. Although he has an excellent wall getting all the way out to the flags, he's still a little bit of a body's length away. However, we could see if he can recover on this second turn here.
Yeah, and it's everybody knows it, but the start's so important to the entire race. So you put yourself behind automatically if something like that happens, a slip up. But as you said, we'll see if he can recover here, as he looks to have lost a little bit on that turn there.
He did lose a little momentum. He came up a little too early than I think he wanted to. So we'll see if he can recover here on the last lap and gain some of that time back. As Mishawaka will get second place points, though, and they still are battling for some third and fourth place points here. So we will see if Jeremiah Bowerman, can get the third place points, and it doesn't look like that will happen. However, Mishawaka will get second, fourth, and fifth points tonight, which will help us out.
Yeah, lane 5 coming in first place, as you mentioned, 58.96. Second place, lane 4, 105.40.
And the 100-yard backstroke record for the boys, Mishawaka is 56.78, and the pool record is 51.27 as we get ready for the girls 100 breaststroke. Event 21, girls 100 breaststroke. Lane 3, Tavia Brandt. Lane 4, Sadie Cawthorn. Lane 5, Claire Ritchie. Lane 6, Ellen P. Chokey. And lane 7, Ingrid Fretz. As Mishawaka boys now, unfortunately, the gap is getting wider and wider for the boys as they're down 59-91. And the girls are down 124-32 as they look to recover some of their losses and get ready for the after the break meets.
Absolutely, it looks like lane 3 and lane 5 here just about equal. Maybe lane 3 slightly ahead there.
And all the Mishawaka swimmers are tied as they go into the first wall.
And you're right, Bruce, these Northridge swimmers are waiting until about the middle of the pool to come up for their first breath, which is pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are really killing the walls. And if you can kill the walls, you can kill the race. It's said that you can even have bad stroke form, and if you hit every wall just perfectly, you can still finish pretty well within the race and have a great time. As stated earlier in the broadcast, you're faster underwater than you are above water, so why not stay underwater as long as you can?
Absolutely.
However, it is the rule, though. You can only go 3/4 of the pool underwater. So if you pass that length, you are disqualified from the race. Unfortunately, even if you get disqualified in the first lap, you have to swim the other 3 laps.
Oh.
So it's happened to me once or twice.
Had your fair number of
yeah, well, and you know what really stink is I've seen kids get disqualified in the first 50 of the 500. Oh. That first, you got 9 more 50s to go.
Yeah.
Disqualified, doesn't count for anything. So, I guess it could be a little worse than the 100 breaststroke disqualification. But inevitably, if you get disqualified, it's a great time to learn. It's a great time to learn from your mistakes so you're ready for sectionals at NIC. As that concludes the girls' 100-yard breaststroke.
As it looks like lane 3 will come up in first place with 1:13.06 there. Moving over to second place would be lane 5 with 1:13.57. Down to third place would be lane 7, 1:17.41. And up to fourth place, there'll be lane 6 there, 1:37.13. And fifth place, lane 4, 1:39.47.
And now we're up to the boys 100-yard breaststroke where we could see maybe a record broken here if Eric is really feeling it here. We have lane 2, Jacob Stanton, lane 3, Trey Johnson, lane 4, Eric Arsenal, lane 5, Joey Gaberick, and lane 6, Tyler Ackerley, lane 7, Jonah Hayden.
And lane 5 again there, off to about.
And this one is all about
a little bit of a lead there. Sorry, go ahead.
You're good, and this one is all about getting horizontal and really stretching out for that wall. As a lot of times you'll hear people say reach, reach as you swim the race, or just go. Because, you know, nothing more motivating than go.
Absolutely. That usually gets the point across.
Yeah. As he comes in.
Yeah, it looks like lane 5 there is kind of spread it out just a tad bit.
He's going to have about 7 seconds to get back if he wants to break that record. I'm not sure that will be accomplished. However, he will be close. And at this point in the season, you're tired, you're banged up. It's Christmas week. There's no expectations of breaking records here.
Right.
So would have been a surprise to all of us. But, however, don't be surprised after break if he crushes this record.
Absolutely.
It is inevitably going to happen. As one of Mishawaka's finest breaststrokers.
As it looks like lane 5 will come in first place with 1:01.70 there. Second place, 1:06.70 there in lane 4. Third place, lane 3, 1:16.34. And fourth place there on lane 6, 1:22.30.
And now, as they like to say, for the granddaddy of them all, the 400 freestyle relay where the Lincoln Way locomotives will try to take first, second, and third in this. It is 16 laps, otherwise 4 100s for each swimmer as we get ready for the girls' 400 freestyle relay. In lane 2 for Mishawaka, we have Emily Swyan, Claire Reynolds, Katie Baumgarter, and Adriana Vestrate. For lane 3, we have Kenzie Lott, Grace Ritchie, McKenna Mount, and Ingrid Fritz. For lane 4 in Mishawaka, we have Sochi Soto, Lily Wilson, Haley Buckner, and Courtney Brothers. In lane 5 for Northridge, we have Logan Pipinger, Emily Coates, Amercius Ingling, and Jenna Nethercutt. In lane 7 for Northridge as well, we have Aaliyah Wilson, Tavia Bratt, Regan Hartzell, and Anna Yeater. As they get ready for the relay required at the start. And they're off. The last event of the swim meet. And so this one is all about finishing hard. As the girls are down 137-35 and the boys down 59-91 as it looks to Northridge will claim the victory for both sides in this dual meet tonight on a brisk cold evening in Mishawaka here at 1202 Lincoln Way East.
Looks like lane 3 might actually be leading a little bit over lane 5, which is a break from kind of the status quo we've seen here tonight. You know, we've talked about it. They've done a pretty good job of leading the entire time. Lane 5, the fastest swimmers there, but it looks like lane 3, or actually,
yeah,
lane 7, yeah.
We might have an outside smoker in lane 7 here, as they like to call it. As lane 7 gets the current from everyone else kicking in the middle, it is actually harder to swim in the outside lanes in a race than it is in the inside lanes. That's why the fastest is in the middle. The slower times are on the outside, but does not necessarily mean the slower swimmer on the outside. As lane 7 will be in first place as they go to the exchanges. However, it's close between lane 3.
Yeah, lane 7 and lane 3 are just kind of duking it out right now, as I think lane 7 might be a little bit ahead. Yeah, lane 7 is ahead as they get down to our end of the pool here. An outside smoker indeed, it seems so far.
As the K-men will look to finish the meet on a good note for tomorrow's practice. As Friday concludes school for School City and Mishawaka and finals week, and we go on to Christmas.
Lane 7 maintaining just a small lead over Lane 3.
And correction on the score now, the boys are actually down now 65 to 101. So the meet is officially out of reach for the Cavemen, as the Northridge Raiders will take a sweep in tonight's dual meet and a victory overall in the standings, as Mishawaka will fall on both sides to the next year's NLC opponent and sectional opponent. As the girls are down 137 to 35, a 102-point difference here. However, the scoreboard doesn't necessarily reflect the effort and intensity we've seen tonight from the girls. If they have been cheering and they have been in it mentally the entire night, just have come up short in a couple key races down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been a great effort shown here by both teams. And like you said, just a little bit short on some of these races here, kind of extended the score out. But, hey, it's something to build on, you know what I mean? Something to take back to practice and just work on.
And this Northridge team is one of the best teams in the area. In fact, they sent a lot of their swimmers down to state last year and were in contention for the sectional and state title last year. So this is a well-established team, and the Cavemen were able to compete with them and mentally stay in it as well as physically. So it's a great win-win either way you look at it. Obviously not the result on the scoreboard you want. However, I'm sure there's a lot to be proud of and a lot of PRs broken tonight as the Lady Cavemen look to finish up the 400 relay in the last event of the night for the Mishawaka swim meet versus the Northridge Raiders.
Yeah, and it looks like not only has Lane 3 now taken the lead over Lane 7, I think they're really kind of extending that out now, as it seems like they're starting to get ahead here, pull away.
As they get ready, I'd like to thank all the lifeguards here tonight as keeping everyone safe and keeping it a family-friendly environment as the swim meet is about ready to conclude.
Absolutely. Lifeguards always do an incredible job here for everybody's safety, and we just thank them.
As that concludes the 400 freestyle relay, we still have Mishawaka in lane 2 has 100 yet to go. As the boys get ready, as they shake hands with the Northridge Raiders. And
Lane 5 will come in first place with 3:55.03. Second place coming to your lane 3. Second place 4:00:50. And your lane 7 taking the third place, 4:03.64. So lane 3 was able to come back and get that victory there. Second place, I should say.
And as we get ready for the 400-yard freestyle relay. On lane 2, we have Trevor Heinsberger. Lane 2, Edwin Serrano. Lane 3, once again, pardon the mistake. Lane 2 is Trevor Heinsberger, Edwin Serrano, Ethan Stanton. Lane 4, Mark Crooks. And lane 3 for Northridge is Jack Goodman, Brandon Marshall, Jonah Hayden, and Reed Hanley. And lane 4 for Mishawaka is Cole Carnes, Braxton Banks, Ryan Watt, and David Cockey. And lane 5 for Northridge is Tristan Bratt, Trey Johnson, Jacob Sullivan, and Luke Dibley. I've done that multiple times tonight. I've announced the lane of the relay and then proceeded to name off their names and associate them with the lane. I think it's just natural in that all the other events are done that way. So excuse me tonight for that mistake.
You know what? Forgive me if it sounds like I'm trying to equate what we're doing here with what they're doing out there. But, you know, these long meets, they kind of wear on us too. You know, they wear on the mental aspect. You know, you got all sorts of numbers and names and all sorts of stuff. So it gets a little jumbled as
there you go. I appreciate the benefit of the doubt. I appreciate that.
I'm here for you.
There you go. There we go. As we finish up the meet, it'll be 2 versus 2, Mishawaka Northridge, and Mishawaka looks to improve on that margin there as the last event and heat of the night for the Mishawaka swim meet. And listen, at this point, it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody's ready to get done with this meet. Doesn't matter the score. Doesn't matter you're winning or losing. You're tired. You're absolutely tired. All your lactate acid is given out in this meet.
Absolutely.
So they will begin and commence off. And lane 4 for Mishawaka is shortly behind. Once again, a lane 5 leader for Northridge.
Absolutely.
as they turn into the first wall of the exchange.
Oh, and a good turn there, able to extend that. Oh, but looks like lane 4 actually might be gaining some ground as they head towards the bulkhead there.
Still recovering there. The loss on the dive as they flip, and Northridge will take a lead, about a half a body's length lead. Excuse me, about a body's length lead now for the Northridge Raiders.
As I gotta imagine at this point in the meet, you're probably feeling the burn a little bit.
As they do the first exchange for the Cavemen. As they get ready. And Northridge will proceed to take first place at the commencement of this.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner.
Event, and if you're experiencing no video on this broadcast, it is because one of the cameras has just went out. As we were just talking about the longevity of the meet.
Absolutely.
Wears and tears on the swimmers, wears and tears on the broadcast team, and wears and tears on that camera battery up there with the TriCaster. So I see Parker Norris is getting one replaced there.
I was going to say, thank goodness we have Parker Norris up here, who's a
Yep. We're getting something back on the video here as we are back up and gone for the 400 free relay. As Northridge will take first place in this relay. Lane 5 in second place. Lane 4 on the board says in second place. So maybe a tie there for second place, and lane 3 in third place. As we finish up tonight's meet and what has been an exciting meet at some points. The butterfly race was toe-to-toe, and a lot of the relays at the start of the race was toe-to-toe. So
yeah, a couple pretty exciting ones here.
We are looking for some great finishes here, and a good way to end with some Christmas joy as we go into Christmas break here. You know what the best part about the swim meet is, Evan?
What's that?
Well, at the end of every swim meet, each team brings food to share with each other, and they have one giant feast after every single swim meet. So,
well, that is nice.
Yeah, so you look forward to it. You know, you might have had a bad day, but you get mom's pasta or something, or your best friend's mom's pasta.
Absolutely, and not only that, but just a good show of sportsmanship between. You spend the entire meet out here competing against each other, and you have a meal together. I think that's beautiful. Yep.
And a lot of these kids know the same. They're going through the same thing. They're doing the same practices and the same, sweat and tears are going into this. So it's a lot of mutual respect between swim teams, and there's a lot of rivalries in basketball and football, but in swimming you don't see very many rivalries. You see some rivalries between individual swimmers, but teams generally have mutual respect for each other in the aspect that everybody knows what they're going through at each point in the season, and they know that it's a long and grueling season for everybody.
Absolutely.
So we look here to conclude. Sorry, Evan. We look here to conclude the 400 relay for the boys. And the Marion Knights, who practice at Mishawaka High School, are taking over the pool deck as they know they are getting ready to do their practice for their season as well.
Absolutely, and a bit of a late practice here. 8
It is.
o'clock.
They practice late at night or extremely early in the morning. So a little extra motivation there for their practice.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure if I'd get up at 4 in the morning, although I guess I have for swim meets, but I don't know. For practice.
Swim meets are high school game day.
Yeah, that's true. Get up pretty early there, and it's the pool is chilly. I'll throw that out in the air. Some pools are warm. The Mishawaka pool is always chilling.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I can tell you from being a freshman and having to take PE courses 5 years ago in the pool, I can tell you that it also is quite chilly.
And as they finish, lane 5 will finish in first with 3:39.80. Lane 3 in second with 4:15.85. Lane 2 in third with 4:21.45. As lane 4 will finish in fourth as we are waiting for the computation of the time here. The split is 47.91. However, that is incorrect with the touch. It is 4:40 34. As that concludes the swim meet for the night, we are going to wait on the final scores so we can get you that, and then we will conclude our broadcast for the night in the first ever Mishawaka High School swim meet broadcasted live on the Mishawaka Network. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
Absolutely. It's been an honor out here to just to do this, and really throughout our whole tenure here, be able to kind of do things never done before, Bruce. We've been blessed to be able to come out here and do these things. And really see a lot of firsts happen. It only makes sense that we come out, we do this first swim meet broadcast. As we see us on there,
there we are.
Up to the
wave
camera.
Up to the camera there. How's it going?
The first broadcaster, you see a record broken. So
yes, that's true. History made in and out of the pool tonight in the Mishawaka Natatorium on 1202 Lincoln Way East here, as the final score for the girls is 37-149. The boys is 67-113. Not the score that we wanted. However, Mishawaka fans should be pretty impressed with what their team showed tonight, as there was a lot of heart and effort done into this meet, and progressively you've seen the overall improvement of the Mishawaka swim team, coached by Danny Lucero Dixon. And this is Bruce Quick from the Mishawaka Network signing out, as well as Evan Bordner. Go Cavemen.